Ladies and gentlemen, I'm having a piece of candy because I still have candy. I bought 1,000 pieces for the children, and they stopped coming around. I don't understand it. So today's show is going to be about foreigners coming to the Philippines and trying to understand the culture shock once you get here. And if anybody understands the culture shock, it will be a white foreigner in the Philippines for the first time without any record as to the real nature of prices in the Philippines. So this week, I'm only going to talk about this week for the first few minutes. Yesterday, I wanted to buy a load. I know for a fact that the load store sells 10 peso loads, which is a 20-cent load. Now, the problem with loads here in the Philippines, all the cell phone companies are physically should be quantified and classified as criminals because they take your money for a load, and for a 10 peso load or a 50 peso load, if you don't use it in 48 hours, you lose the money. Whereas in America, you could buy a load and it will be good for a year. So the problem for foreigners when they come here is if they get a telephone number and they ask a person in the load store for a load, and they'll say, what's a good load? The person will say 250 pesos, which is $5. So the foreigner is going to put the load in the phone. Well, that only lasts a week. And they don't tell you that. They don't say, sir, this only lasts a week. So we're here utilizing their phone system. You put $5 in, you think that you're going to, at 2 pesos a text or 1 peso a text, you should have 400 or 500 texts able. No, you can make unlimited text for 7 days, but in a week it disappears. But if you only make one text, the money disappears anyway. The only advantage to getting a load is you need to get a load every 60 days if you want to keep your telephone number. Because if you don't put a load in your phone and you have a cell phone number, any cell phone number, if you don't put one load in your phone every 59 days, your telephone number expires and you can't get it back. There's no way to get it back. You can't call up the company. You can't buy it back. So if you've been doing business with a cell phone for 2 years, and your load goes past 60 days without adding at least 10 pesos, you lose the number. Then you have to spend, it's now $2.20 for a card. And then you have to figure out all those people who had your number, you have to send them a message that you have a new telephone number. That's just one major scam that foreigners are not going to be used to. But yesterday, that took the cake yesterday. Let me go open up my my comment section to make sure I'm not being trolled. And then we're going to talk about the scams that happened this week. The direct Michael Fazio to my face, insulting me to my face on a multitude of levels. Because I did a multitude of things and I was in a multitude of places. I'm almost embarrassed to let you people, especially the people who have sociopathic and narcissistic personalities, know how stupid these people believe I am to pay their prices. See me on a, even those people even those people think I'm stupid. And the last thing I would believe me to be is stupid. So you can't hear me, is what you're saying? LaRue, can you hear me? Okay. Lulu Lanisi. All right. All right. Well, we'll try it for a few more minutes. If it buffers, you let me know and I'll start again. All right. So yesterday, now, okay, she can hear me. All right. Thank you, LaRue. So yesterday, we're going to go through the scams from yesterday going back about a week or 10 days. So in my area, on my block where I live, typically I get a load for 10 pesos. Jack Thompson. I am live. Thank you. Welcome to the machine, Jack Thompson. So yesterday I want to buy a load for both my numbers, and I want 10 peso loads. However, I go to the normal store that sells the 10 peso load, and she's not there. She's on vacation or whatever. So I go to a store 2 doors down, and I put 12 pesos on the counter because it's typically 10 pesos and 2 pesos for the owner of the store. And I said, give me a 10 peso load. And she goes, she doesn't speak very good English. She tells me 55 pesos. I said, why am I paying 55 pesos for a 10 peso load? This is what foreigners need to get used to. So 50 peso load and 5 pesos for me. She knows how to say me. They're really good at me. So I said, I only want 10 pesos, Polly Hogue, please. 50 pesos only. And she stands there and puts her chest out that she is now making it clear that it's a 50 peso load only. So I said, no, thank you. And she mumbled something under her breath, and I walked out. However, on the outside of the store were some friends of mine. So they said, did you get a load? Because I was there really quick. I said, no, she wants 50 pesos. And one of my buddies says, bakakon. So he goes, 10 pesos only. I get loads there every day. So he knows 10 pesos. So he walks over to the store with me and tells the lady to give me a 10 peso load and that we're buddies. She started yelling at him like a trooper. She got mad at a Filipino man who I've been friends with for 6 years for telling me that she really does sell 10 peso loads to the Filipinos, but to a foreigner, it's 50 pesos minimum. Now, they'll give you a 50 peso load, but it's still only good for 2 days. This is what is stated in the title, Foreigners Bend Over. All right, so I did not buy the load. I went to another store and got a 10 peso load a few minutes later. That's somebody that I've been dealing with for years, but they all know who I am. So now I want to buy a pack of cigarettes. And I go to the store that's closest to my house, and she tells me 130 pesos. So I said, why 130? Everybody else sells them for 100. No, they went up. I'm going, because typically if I want cigarettes, I'll buy a carton, and that'll last a month or a month and a half. And I pay 89 pesos for one pack. So I said, well, they're not 100. I made a mistake. It was 130 pesos, not 120. It was 122 weeks ago, but I didn't buy them from her. So this week, yesterday she tells me 130. They went up for the new year. I went to 4 stores to get 100 peso pack of cigarettes. So she is charging 40 pesos, 41 pesos for more than a pack of cigarettes cost at 130 pesos. They're 89 pesos, 88.7 pesos per pack. And she's charging 50% more just to hand you a pack of cigarettes, which is 80 cents. 80 cents is like 1.5 hours for a laborer in the Philippines. All right, so I don't buy the cigarettes from her. I walk back up the block and I buy the cigarettes for 100 pesos, just one pack. But this is the store I've been frequenting if I need to buy a soda for a guest or candy or something like that for somebody that'll come over and they want some kind of snack that they normally, because when you have guests here, they all want snacks or candy. So this is my closest neighbor telling me that the price went from 120 to 130, or 50% increase, a 50% profit margin on a pack of cigarettes. You could store a pack of cigarettes for 10 years. There's no overhead. That doesn't cost anything to store it. It's small. Fifth wants to make 41 pesos a pack. And this is my friend, a so-called friend. And to top it off, just last week, I gave them a kilo of spaghetti and a kilo of sauce. So this is what you can expect in the Philippines. You can expect to give and give and give and give, but nothing in return. So last week, I gave them 190 pesos for the sauce and about 100 pesos for the spaghetti. So let's just say 200 pesos. I gave them a $4 gift or 200 peso gift, and she tells me the price went from 120 to 130 because of the new year, but it was 2 days before the new year. So get out in the title, bust out your bend over products, because nobody here is ever going to treat a white man with any kind of respect the same way they would give to a Filipino. Now I walk away because I'm not spending 130 pesos, and I'm on my way to the other store, and a man who was ahead of me on the street had stopped to talk to a neighbor. And I said to that man, how much did you pay for that pack of Marlboro? And he said 100 pesos. So here you go. 100 pesos to the Filipino was 120 for me, and it went up to 130 because of the new year, but he just bought a pack for 100 pesos. This is an ongoing way of mental thought processes for the Filipinos and the foreigners. All right, so we're going to move on. We're going to the city now, and I want to get a motorcycle ride from Pennsylvania Trucker. I see your name there. Welcome to the machine, Pennsylvania Trucker. Pennsylvania Trucker, you want to inform us what happened on Big Kevin's channel? Because that was an atrocity. That was an absolute atrocity. Is Kevin actually sure of who he thinks did that without mentioning names? Because I saw you there this morning, and I can't mention a name because I can't be sure, but Kevin is really upset. He's really upset. So if you have just the one piece of information, is Kevin sure it was that person? Ozone Park, lunacy. All right, so I'll wait for your Pennsylvania Truck is a man, a real man's man. Ah, okay. Yeah, but okay, thank you very much, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Trucker, Jack Thompson. If John Boone Bean is here, these are men. These are actual men that go out and risk their life and limb So give a big shout out to the men that made America great. Pennsylvania trucker Jack Thompson, John Moonbeam's in Holland, but he has the same same background. Thanks for stopping by, Pennsylvania trucker. We did have an incident today where Happy New Year, Tommy, back at you. We did have an incident yesterday. Yeah, thank you, Pennsylvania trucker. That I saw. That all right, so here's what you people need to do when now or later, it's up to you. A sociopath, we're gonna move off prices in the Philippines because I'll just segue into this. I'm gonna go to this later anyway. A possible sociopath and or a possible psychopath and certainly a possible narcissist has promised Big Kevin to shut his channel down on multiple occasions, more than 30 times in the last year. In addition to this possible sociopath, possible psychopath, possible narcissist, and or possible flying monkey, further stated that it was guaranteed that Big Kevin's channel was going to be shut down and then added one way or the other. And karma is going to come and hit you hard. So I was notified that on Big Kevin, he had some people on the channel. And I don't think this is right or fair or just. I believe the person, whoever did this, his channel should be terminated for the one offense. And I don't know who it was, but we do know whose facial and or forehead and or hairline that they used to represent posting pornography on Big Kevin's channel. It was a very well-known and, in my opinion, not so much liked blogger on YouTube who has been considered a narcissist, has been considered a psychopath, has been considered a sociopath, and has been considered a flying monkey with a flying monkey at his side. So if you go to Big Kevin's channel and you see the video from yesterday and you go to the 13-minute and 8-second mark, you will see the forehead, and we're talking about a very deep back recessed hairline, the forehead of a man who needs more sun and has red hair. And then you'll just see like this much of his right eye, clearly defining a person from YouTube, but we don't know if it was his channel that posted the porn. But it is clearly defining someone by there. In other words, there's enough forensic evidence for the police, if the police were called then, to make a definitive 100% conclusion as to whose face is in the picture. But we don't know whose face, whose channel is behind the pornography posted on Big Kevin's channel, so he'll get a strike. That was totally off the chain, uncalled for, but there is only one person that has made more than 30 videos stating that he was going to take Big Kevin's channel down one way or the other, and this would seem like one way or the other, in my opinion. So, and I'm going to go back to the prices that I got in I'm going to go back to the prices I got for a motorcycle ride from the BQ Mall to the city. It's right. I forget the Capitol building in the hall. So, the price was ridiculous. The price, and the same for the tricycle ride. Big Kevin, welcome to the machine, Big Kevin. I did see that, and even Big Kevin mentioned me in how I would and what I would call that person that blogged or that posted pornography. So like I said, I can't trace the guy's channel link back to who it was, but I do know whose face or forehead or likeness the person used, and it is certainly a blogger from Cebu whose likeness was used. But I can tell you a little bit about that same person. That same person put up a video calling me a liar, a fraud, an extortionist, and a scammer for money just 2 days ago in regards to when I got hit by a jet ski about 12 days ago now, but I got hit by, well, it's actually 2 weeks ago. I got ran over by a jet ski. Literally got ran over. The woman who ran me over was admitted she did it. The police took a report and admitted, or were there when she admitted that she did it. The jet ski owner of the shop, or the proprietor of the shop, agreed that I got ran over by a jet ski. Other people saw me get hit by a jet ski and were in the crowd. Her family saw her run me over with a jet ski. And yet, a sociopath, in my opinion, because only a sociopath would do something like that, said that I didn't get run over by a jet ski, and that because I didn't have external injuries or wasn't able to show a medical report for a bump on my head, that I was a fraud. And then the sociopath, in my opinion, / narcissist / psychopath / flying monkey, and his or her flying monkeys, all attacked my video, stating that if I couldn't show medical reports, I was a fraud. But going one step further, something only a sociopath, in my opinion, would say is that when I went back to follow up with an agreement that was made by the owners or the manager of the jet ski rental establishment, that they would give me a free jet ski ride, because I haven't been on a jet ski in many years. And I said, you give me one free jet ski ride, and, that would be nice of you to do. And they said, yeah, that's no problem. You come back next week. So I went back. Well, that person wasn't there, but the manager said, oh, no, sir, no libre, no free jet ski ride. I said, well, we agreed to that. He knew about the agreement. We agreed to that. Yes, sir, no discount. Well, I have it on tape. I said, I should have put you in jail. I could have made them supply the police with the registration papers of their tax and or business and their tax number. I could have made him supply the police with a current NBI card, or at least the number certificate for the person involved. And I could have made them supply the police with every piece of legal information that they did not have on the beach. And they couldn't supply when I asked them for it initially, before the police came. They could supply me with no NBI clearances. They could supply me with no tax identification number. They probably existed, but they couldn't supply it with me. I could have stopped his business from operating, but I didn't. So what this person did was to make a video saying that clearly what I asked the man for in my video, clearly what I asked him was for a free half hour of ride. And the /sociopath / narcissist / psychopath, in my opinion, and or his flying monkeys, clearly stated in an upload that I demanded that the establishment gives me a jet ski for free, a $9,000 jet ski for free. So when I posted all the links to the previous videos where the police were there, everybody agreed I got ran over. Then this narcissist, in my opinion, / psychopath, in my opinion, / sociopath, in my opinion, / Flying Monkey, in my opinion, took the video down. And that person and or channel is the same channel that Big Kevin believes is responsible for placing pornography on his channel. But I can't prove that. I don't know if Big Kevin can prove it, but that's what Big Kevin is accusing that person of. The same person that I am saying made a video and then took it down, that I demanded a free jet ski. And why did they do that? Because they have all the characteristical traits of a sociopath, a narcissist, a psychopath, and a flying monkey. So while I'm involved with that, let me segue in to what a narcissist is, and I'll give you some. And in the meantime, give me a few minutes. I'm going to post the links for sociopaths and narcissists. A narcissist, what is a narcissist and a liar? So we're going to cut that out, and we're going back. Hello, Scott Del Fuego. I'm going to post this 3 times. Go, go, Bobo sister. Welcome to the machine. So, Big Kevin, if you want to post the link, to that video on my page, feel free to do so. I'll okay that as a viable link. Jack Thompson said most sociopaths can't dance. Their legs seem to be too rigid. But one more thing about a possible sociopath that Jack is referencing, who can't dance, by the way, in my opinion as well, is if you'll notice at the end of that video, Jack, he fell down and then cut that off. When he did that spin around on the video, he fell down. Now, of course, if you go to his channel in a half an hour or so, the video will be gone. But he cut it out. He was dancing, and he did what we call a button hook or a spin, and he fell over. And as he was falling, that's where he cut the video off, because he couldn't possibly do that 1 minute and 22 second dance twice, because he was so out of breath the first time in 1 minute and 22 seconds from moving his feet about 7 or 8 inches from each other, forward and back. He was out of breath. Slow. He wasn't doing a psycho shuffle or anything like that. He was just going, his feet were going like that. And in 1 minute and 22 seconds, he was completely out of breath. All right. I'm going to go back to, so I posted what is a narcissist. John Boone Beam. Happy New Year back at you, John. We're not quite there yet, but thank you very much. Jack Thompson said, according to the sociopath, if you're not missing a limb, then it didn't happen. Pretty much along those lines, he wanted to see physical damage when all I had was a lump on my head, because I was smart enough to duck down when I saw it. If I had waved my hands, I'd be dead now, because I was 8, 10, 12 feet away from me. I saw the woman's eyes. She saw me. She panicked. She kept going. I pulled myself under the water. The jet ski banged me in the head. She knew she hit me. And yet, because I didn't have physical blood and broken bones and limbs missing, as was stated in the narcissist slash sociopath slash psychopath slash flying monkeys video, in my opinion, it was stated if I couldn't see broken bones or couldn't submit a hospital report for some sort of injuries, then the event didn't happen. I was a scammer. When will the narcissist, sociopaths, flying monkeys, and psychopaths of this world realize that no matter how much they lie, they have to go back and remove their videos, which looks a little bit like this? This is what happened to the sociopath slash narcissist slash psychopaths slash flying monkeys video. This is what happened to the video. See that? That's what happened to his videos. That he called me an extortionist, he said I was extorting a jet ski. Hold on, Warren is calling, I think. Yeah, I was extorting a jet ski. No, that's not the one. This is the one. All right. Yeah, this is a different one. I'm not signed in. But that's his video. All right. I guess I might have removed the one that said this video is private. But it says private. Hold on. Let me see if that's Warren calling. No. That's my buddy. I have a friend of mine that's an admiral in the Navy. Okay, so that picture that you saw on the screen there, where it said private, if that one said private video, I have to sign in. But if I was to sign in, let's okay. Now when I refresh the page here, this is what happened to in my opinion, the guy's a sociopath, a narcissist, a flying monkey, and a psychopath. When I refresh the page, video unavailable. It's private. So after calling me a scammer, a fraud, claiming I wasn't injured, even though there were two police, and in the video, the Chinese woman admits, I'm sorry. She was crying. I was telling her to stop crying, but the sociopath, narcissist slash psychopath slash flying monkey turned it around and said I was yelling at her when I never yelled at her. And then at the end of the video, I forgave her, just said you got to pay more attention to where you are. But the sociopath said I made her cry and her whole family was crying because I made her cry and how I abused her. I'm going to supply the link for you people to see the video yourself. Right now, I'm going to supply it. This way you guys can see what a sociopath has turned around to me yelling and screaming at a woman that I was simply talking to and I forgave. I was a criminal, that I performed some sort of criminal activity and that I'm bad for the Philippines tourist industry. I got to tell you, the sociopath and the narcissist and the psychopath and the flying monkey, they say everything that you do is the opposite or the worst possible reverse thing that they could possibly say about you. Where I was promised a half hour of free jet ski time. It twisted this guy's little brain around into believing that I was demanding a free jet ski. And then the video has now come down because I posted the links for the Chinese tourist who hit me with the jet ski, confirmed it, and then here is the video. These are the people. There are two videos. The links for each video are in the description box, but I'll get you this. This is the actual woman crying in the video. She cried for 45 minutes. I couldn't get her to stop crying. She cried so much that the women and the men Philippines on the beach were crying. That's how much she was crying. So here, in the description, I don't know who's more stupid, the jet ski operator or the idiots that have no training and rent them. But be that as it may, here is the video. Oh, we're gonna have to find that video because I don't think. Okay, part 1. Yep, here it is right here. So if you want to see the video in its entirety and see that I was actually being quite nice to this woman. She just ran me over with a 1,000-pound jet ski. You think you should be upset about something like that? I was upset, but I was controlled. But I was accused of being bad for the tourist industry. Meanwhile, so what is good for the tourist industry? Having tourists run over people that live here, that's good for the tourist industry? Or having some psychopath, narcissist / sociopath / flying monkey, in my opinion, making videos on YouTube demeaning people like me who have put more money back into this culture and or the financial system of this culture by probably a factor of 10 for every $1 this sociopath / narcissist / psychopath / flying monkey, in my opinion, for every $1 that he puts in, I put in 10 or 12. And I know that to be a fact. So I'm going to post that video 2 or 3 times. So what's better for the tourist industry? Having some sociopath / narcissist / flying monkey / psychopath demeaning somebody like me who has put in countless millions of pesos into the economy of the Philippines, or some worthless blogger on YouTube demeaning somebody like me who's put in $10 into the economy and brought tourists to the Philippines, whereas that blogger was supposed to have company. And once the people that are supposed to come and visit that blogger look at his video, they don't even want to come to the Philippines. That happened yesterday. Imagine that somebody looked into his past and his background and said, no, I don't want to live with that guy. I don't even want to talk to that guy anymore. Once they watch his videos, they don't even want to know his name. They want to forget they ever knew the guy. Because everybody comes to the same conclusion. The man, and I use that word loosely, is a complete, perfect example with every characteristical trait. This isn't my opinion. This is the opinion of 100 YouTube bloggers. He has every characteristical trait of a narcissist, a sociopath, a psychopath, and a flying monkey. All the traits. So in other words, I watched 25 videos last week and I made note of the key traits of a sociopath / narcissist / flying monkey / psychopath. I made notes, and then I thought about all the things this person talked about, myself and Daisy May, during the course of the year, and every single trait, every trait in 25 videos, 15 hours of watching videos can be seen, heard, or reviewed on this sociopath / psychopath / flying monkey / sociopath, psychopath, flying monkeys, narcissist. Every single characteristical trait, every one. There is no video that you can watch without going back and saying, yeah, he does that. He does that. He does that too. Oh my God, I never knew what a sociopath was. Oh my God, I never knew what a psychopath was. I never knew that sociopaths make up lies blatant, outright, bold-faced lies about people for no reason. But now I know what a sociopath does, and now I know what a psychopath does, and now I know what a narcissist does, and now I know what that guy's been doing, gaslighting everybody for the last 3.5 years. All right, so now I'm done with that little part of my rant. Mr. Fazio, says Scott Del Fuego, presenting the videos of fantastic scenery. So Scott's talking about my Alona Beach series. Let's see. Let's go back up here. Scott Del Fuego. I just recently did an Alona Beach series of videos, about 25, well, over the course of 3 days. I spent some time with a few different people there. Scott says, Mr. Fazio, presenting videos of fantastic scenery and cultural interaction, along with the tremendous knowledge and insight of the ways of the cluster B personality disorder. Watch and learn. So those characteristical traits of the sociopath, the narcissist, the flying monkey, and the psychopath is, by definition of a psychiatrist, called the cluster B effect. But I don't want to use the word cluster B because I like to use those words because it defines the sociopath, the narcissist, the psychopath, and the flying monkey. Now, you can have a flying monkey. Oh my God, Pennsylvania trucker. Oh my God, that's what Big Kevin said to do yesterday. Big Kevin, you said for the sociopath, the possible sociopath, the possible narcissist, the possible psychopath, and the possible sociopath, you said for him to put on a hat to disguise his forehead. And Pennsylvania trucker says that person is having a show right now, but he's wearing a hat so we can't see his hairline. Pennsylvania trucker, you nailed it, baby, on today's show. And Kevin, you should have never told him to put on a hat because I don't believe that man is smart enough to figure that out on his own. So basically, it's your fault, Big Kevin. It's your fault. You're the one. You told him how to avoid detection. Why would he wear a hat if it wasn't him? I don't know. All right, somebody shit-canned Mr. Deep Web. I've had enough. Once somebody starts to post 50 or 60 different comments, somebody just shit-can that guy. Okay. Lasagna. Anyone from Scott Del Fuego. Yeah, that had to be. I would say that you could buy. I've bought lasagna. Not me. I didn't buy it. I would never buy lasagna. But there was a Stouffer's lasagna. I think it was Stouffer's. I thought it was real lasagna. That's how good one of those lasagnas was. I don't know that if it was Stouffer's or not. Yeah, Clint Eastwood. Oh, Clint Eastwood is here. Recently I made about 7 or 8 Clint Eastwood clips, but I can't post those yet. But I will. Where I was one of the more interesting places to be, Clint Eastwood. I had everything but a badge. But anyway, so now I'm going to go back. I'm going to digress, which is what I do. I'm multiversing here. I'm going to digress into costs that people tried to charge me this week. So we discussed the 55 peso load when a Filipino would get a 12 peso load. That's 4.5 times the price of the Filipino price. We did not discuss. I went to the boat terminal to pick somebody up, and on the way back from the boat terminal, they wanted 1,000 pesos for the tricycle ride back to Alona Beach. It's typically $250. For a local, it's $250. So that was 4 times the price if you're a foreigner. And I said, Dali, mahal. Dali Hilal Kano. Dali Humana Hilal Kano. It means I'm not a ripe Kano anymore. And I'm not ripe for the picking is basically what it means. And then he went down to $750. So I had some choice words for him. And I told him, I will give you $250, period. No. Okay. Walked over to another tricycle, and I didn't say how much. In English, I said pila pesos. And he said 350. I said 300. And he said, okay. So I got it for 300. It's 2 days before New Year, so I'm going to pay a little bit more. But one guy wanted 1,000 and brought it down to 750, and another guy started out at 350 and brought it down to 300. So we didn't get the jet ski rental, which I went over, which was promised me. So at the in one of the videos I did on the beach of the Henin Resort, and it's available to all. On that video with the girls in it at the pool at the Henin Resort, I met the manager there. He was setting up the buffet for lunchtime. And I said to the manager, did you see the video I made of you last week? Yes. I said, will I get a discount on a buffet if I come back this week with a guest? He said, no. Just like that, no. So, no matter if I did one video or I have about 6 or 7 videos of the Henin up on YouTube from this week, and maybe 12 or 13 or 14 altogether, no matter how much business you bring them, they're not interested in giving you a single peso discount. And that folds over to the pizzeria that I made maybe 15 or 18 videos of. And I asked him for a discount. He said, no, I took 18 videos down. Why should I supply free advertising for your business and you don't even want to give me a pizza that's going to cost you about maybe 160 pesos, $3 to make a pizza, maybe. Going to cost you $3, but you make how many? 10, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 pesos because of my free advertising, and you don't want to give me back $3? When I asked them for a discount, and I'm going to the manager and the desk of the Henin, and I'm going to show them my videos, and I'm going to ask them for a free buffet for my friend and I, and if they say no, I'm going to pull every single Henin video down. I'll still go there for dinner, but I'll just pull their videos down. And right now, their videos have about, all told, maybe 6,000 or 7,000 views. But it's Christmas season, and there are dozens of people going to the Henin because I recommended the Henin as a buffet. So let's say they got 50 people to go during this season because of my videos. And each buffet is 1,000 pesos. So they earn 50,000 pesos. And they're not interested in giving me back one free dinner for 2 people, 2,000. So basically, it's okay for them to earn 50,000 pesos, but it's not okay for them to give me back a buffet, which may cost them. At the end of the day, nobody can eat 300 or 400 pesos worth of food. So maybe it would cost them 700 pesos to get me to do more videos, but they're not interested in that. So I will find the manager of the Henin. They know about my videos. There's no doubt about that. And I will ask them for a free buffet. And if he declines, which is his prerogative to decline, I will just pull down. If it says Henin in the video, it will be deleted or made private. And then I've done this before. I go back and they say, what happened to the videos? I say, I asked you for a free buffet. Oh, sir, but it's not part of our program, or we don't have the authority. Okay, we'll get the authority and I'll put the videos back up. But they don't want to return anything you do for a Filipino business, advertisement. Doesn't matter. I was even at the Henin that morning. I didn't have it on video, so I don't talk about that. Someone saw me. I said, we're going to try the buffet tonight. Now, I don't know if they did or not, but it was a husband and wife and a child. So that's 2,500 pesos, $50 worth of business that they're going to try. Now, I don't know if they did it, but I don't care whether they did it or not. There are people that go to the buffet because I say it's a great buffet. And it is a great buffet. And I'm going to continue to say it's a great buffet. Whether I take the videos down or not, if someone says to me, what about the food at the Henin? I'm going to say 5-star all the way. Going to say that no matter. Give me a free dinner. Don't give me a free dinner. Their food is perfect, excellent, superb, number one. But I won't put up videos where people will see that their food is the best food in Alona Beach. I just won't do it. I give to you, you give back to me. Not this culture. Foreigners are third or fourth or fifth grade citizens when it comes to the people of the Philippines. It's only one way. And I'm going to tell you something else. The Henin, a lot of the places that won't give you a discount are owned by foreigners that are not even Filipino. It's just this culture in Southeast Asia. Nothing goes back. Everything comes in. I worked for Italian restaurants my entire youth. From the time I was 12 till I was about 22, 23. I had part-time jobs driving cars. Every Italian that I worked for, every single one would come into the store, shake hands with everybody, and then give them a slice of pizza and a Coke. Or Joe DeCandia, who owned the Lenny's Pizzeria, 50 plus Lenny's Pizzeria. He owned 51% of 100 different Lenny's Pizzerias, 16 Tony Romas, and probably 23 Lenny's Clam Bars. If somebody came in every week, and he was at work every day, he didn't do anything else but work. Well, he met the President of the United States, he met the Governor of New York, he met the Pope. He did a lot of traveling with babes, and which his wife didn't like. But his son did, but the wife didn't. Anyway, Joe would give 10 people would sit down on a Sunday, because usually people went out, they had a schedule, but he would remember everybody. And he'd walk over to a table of 8 or 10 people and say, dinner's on me tonight. Just leave the waiter a tip. He'd give out, $500 dinner, because they had wine, they had beers, they had calamar, they had scungil, and he might give out a $300-400 dinner, $100 worth of drinks. Or he might just say, you pay for the drinks, the dinner's on me. He was a very generous man. You're never going to see that in the Philippines. I've been here for 7 years. Nobody. No vegetable market vendor, no street vendor, no sari store. Nobody ever, not one time, has ever given me back a single peso. Nobody gives you a free ride on a motorcycle. If they pick you up illegally, like a lot of the dive trucks will pick me up if they see me waiting for a jeepney and they're headed in the direction that I'm headed in, I'll give them the 10 peso or 20 pesos where they're going, to drop me off. But but they'll do me a service by picking me up and dropping me off where I want to be, as long as it's on their route. But they won't do it for free. They'll put their hand in the back like this, and it's not even their truck, and it's just pocket change for them. Don't expect to get anything. So I'm walking down the block. I'm going to go back to the comments now. I'm walking down the block. And a young man, well, it's a young lady. Okay. No. It's a, hold on, man. To be honest, I don't know what it is anymore. It's a young, let me try to get this right, because it's a young, it's a young man. I think it's a young man. It's hard to tell. This one is really hard to tell. And the young man who I said, "What's your name?" about 6-7 months ago, was before the fiesta. And they said it was a lady's name. And I'm going, "But you're a boy, right?" "No, I'm a girl." So already, even at a young age, I won't say what age it is, the people have chosen their sex, but still look like a boy. So I said, "Well, are you sure you're not a boy?" Because I thought they were kidding, but they weren't kidding. So this is interesting what the person said to me next. So I've known this child 7 years. So apparently when I met the child, it was a very young boy. And I always knew that person to be a boy. So I'm going to call it a boy. So I'm walking down the block yesterday, and this young man, who's now a lady boy at a very young age, puts his hand out like this. "Michael, where is my gift?" So I said, "Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You run a sari store, right?" "Yes." "And I buy lots of stuff from your sari store, right?" "Yes." "And last week I bought how many cases of beer? I bought some beer for a party. 2 cases. And I gave you back the bottles, right?" "Yes." "And you charged me the service fee for the bottles, right?" "Yes." "And you gave me back the pesos for the bottles?" "Yes." I said, "So did you give me any discount?" And he said, "No." I said, "Well, why would I give you a Christmas present? You make money from my purchases, yes?" "Yes." So we're not talking about a store that I spend 10 pesos in. We're talking about a store that I might, well, in that case, it was 24 bottles times 80 pesos. So we're talking about 1,600 pesos, 2,000 pesos, 24 times 80, 10 times 80 is 800, 1,600 pesos. It's $30, $34, $33 I spent in just one purchase, $33. I didn't get even, and when it came to like the small change of the transaction, they charged me the small change too. Not a penny, not a peso. And then I went back and bought snacks because I did. And the problem here is that you're never going to get back a single peso. Doesn't matter how much. I had a landlord. I gave the landlord a few 100,000 pesos. A few 100,000 pesos. Never once, ever, never, when the miscellaneous fees for the water or the electric come in, did she ever reduce it by even a peso on the bill. So my bill was 15,000 pesos, $300. And then the water might be, it was 150 pesos per cubic meter because they had to pump it up to the roof. So they have to charge you for the pump and the tank and the plumbing, which was reasonable. But let's say I used 2.5 meters of water. So it would be 225 pesos, or 1.5 meters of water, be 225 pesos. And the electric, they were charging me 10 pesos per kilowatt hour, but they were only paying 8.5 pesos. She was charging me 1.5 pesos per kilowatt hour for about 50 kilowatt hours, or 5,000 pesos a month for my electric bill. She was making 50 pesos on my electric bill. I don't know that they're allowed to do that. They're supposed to charge you only the electric. The water, they can charge you extra for. But I never got a discount for my water or my electric, even though 3 years, 12 months is how much times 300? That's 3,600 times 3. What does that come out to? 10,800 pesos, right? 36. Yeah, 10,800 US dollars. So let's just round it off to 10,800 US dollars in rent. And yet when it came to the water bills, they kept it to the penny. If the meter was 2.5 months, they would charge me for 2.5 months. Then the next month, they would charge again. And they didn't even say, look, let's just wait and see till you get five cubic meters and I'll charge you. No, they had to charge me each month for each cubic meter of water. Never did they say, you know what, Mike, don't worry about the water this month. We'll just cancel that. And here's the kicker. I would give my landlord 4 months in advance, 60,000 pesos in advance, each time I paid my rent. So I only had to pay them 3 times a year. And they didn't have the money to complete the building, and I gave them 60,000 pesos. So sometimes for those 4 months, no work would get done at all. Nobody would be working. There'd be no electricians, no plumbers, no stucco guys. No, I give them 60,000 pesos, and the next day there'd be 4 people working. After a couple of months, they'd run out of money, or a couple of jobs, they'd run out of money. They never asked me for it in advance. I offered it, but I would give them 60,000 pesos, and the next day there'd be men and people there. So they didn't have the money at the time to pay for any kind of work to get done on the building that I was living in, but they wouldn't give me a single peso discount on water that cost them 7 pesos per cubic meter. They were charging me 150 pesos a cubic meter, or 21 times the price of water. Of course, they had pumps and they had tanks, but 21 times. They could have cut me a break on my water bill or my rent bill, considering I was the only person in the building for several months. I was paying their bills, but never in 3.5 years, never, ever, not a single peso discount. Now I'm going to go back to not a single peso ever in 3.5 years. Baggy Eyes is here. What? Now, Baggy Eyes has been abusing some people on the Big Kevin show. Give him 2 thumbs up. He comes out with the Baggy Eyes. I saw the word spur, S-P-E-R, and I'm pretty sure you were talking about spur nips. So I got an idea who you are. Peter James M.M. Bago. Now, you know he's new. He's getting ready to troll me, Peter James is. So you guys are all saying hello to each other. That's good. I'm going to go back to my notes. A lot of salutations here. Okay, so the young man who didn't give me a discount, that asked me for a gift, I can't say what that person called me. Now we're talking about a very young person. I won't say underage because here things are different, but not old enough to call somebody a specific derogatory name, said it to myself, to my face, in front of Daisy May at a party that we attended last year. I'll never forget it. And because Daisy May was only 24 at the time, this young man / boy, lady boy, called me a derogatory name. And when I mentioned that out in the street 2 days ago, no, this was, 2 days ago. Today is what? What is today? But today's New Year's Eve. Okay. So, yes, it was yesterday. So when this person called me that derogatory name in front of Daisy, and not only that, in front of the owner of the house that we were in and at the party, I couldn't believe that. I'm going, at your age, you're making statements like that. Some of these people are very bold. Anyway, moving past that young man / lady boy, whatever they choose to be one day, another man that's working close enough for me to see him and close enough to ask me for a candy because they saw me giving candy to the children, and a person who I gave Christmas presents to in the past when I lived in said building that I just discussed. I gave 12 men Christmas presents. And what I did was I bought a sack of rice, which is 50 kilos. So each man got 3 kilos of rice. I kept a couple of kilos. And this one man that I'm going to talk about right now, he got like 5 kilos of rice because I play with his children, or I've, played with his children out in the street, throwing a ball back and forth or throwing a tire back and forth. So I gave him Christmas presents for 2 years of the 3 I lived there. Comes to me last week telling me that where's my Christmas present? Because he wasn't around last year. He didn't work on the building. And I said, why would I give you a Christmas present? You always give. So I gave him a Christmas present 2 years in a row because they were working on the building. I said, yeah, but that we're going on now 4 years ago was the last time I gave him a Christmas present. You always give. Yeah, I do give him a lot of candy because I give the kids candy. What can I say? I don't do it as much as I used to, but around the holidays I give. So I said, what would you like? The spaghetti and the sauce. I said, whoa. That's only for my close friends and neighbors. We're not friends. You give. Not please. Not Michael, please, I'm hungry. Nothing like that. You give. So I said, I don't have any more. I told him the same thing I told the lady who came by looking for the foods that I gave her friend. Actually, turns out I gave her best friend spaghetti and sauce. And her best friend is just one. She weighs 40 kilos. Her husband is another small Filipino man. I gave them the sauce and the spaghetti for the 2 ladies. They're 2 children of one lady and the 1 husband. That's more than enough for a meal for Christmas. I guess what I gave them for. But they came back. Well, she came back asking for more. I am not here. I'm not responsible. They don't understand. And I told you last week. I don't know. I'm getting frustrated here. I'm telling you, I'm getting frustrated because when I had a leaky pipe in the street, when the trucks ran over my pipe and broke the pipe, the lady I handed the sauce to, her physical husband, the lady who asked me for the food last week, all were standing in the street with their two children, one couple's two children, and several other people. And what they were doing is they were looking at the water pipe that they know goes to my house and not telling me that the pipe was broke. And I lost 5 months worth of water from the time the pipe broke to the time someone told me that there's water in the street. Nobody thinks that they did anything wrong, but they think they deserve a Christmas present because it's a one-way street. If you're a foreigner and you're coming to the Philippines and you have an abundance of money and you want to give all your money away, God bless you, but don't expect anything in return. To do that is what causes the frustration. For me to stand in front of my bank, the same 4 or 5 motorcycle drivers stand in front of my bank in Tagbilaran City. They all know me by name. Last week, I have it written down here. This not last week. This week, I have it. It's past. Okay, this week, I wanted to go from my bank, which is at the BQ Mall, to the Capitol building. I did mention this. 120 pesos, he told me. It's a 30 peso ride. Why? Any Filipino would get it for 25 pesos. 120. So they wanted to charge me 4 times the price. And now that's all I got. Unless I go to narcissists and or sociopaths and or psychopaths. So I'll leave that up to you because I have some notes if you want me to segue into narcissism, that you might be a narcissist. This is just one example. You might be a Wait. You might be a narcissist if you steal your worker's pliers because he stopped and took lunch. And then you might be a narcissist if you then made yourself allowed to steal your worker's pliers because you told him to work through lunch and he didn't, and you stole his pliers. I like that. Do you want me to do narcissists and or sociopaths now? Because I have time and I have a list. So let me go back to my notes. Fox, hello, Mike. Okay, Fox was the man who I was swimming with when the Chinese woman ran me over. So here's a man, 222 Fox 1, that I took snorkeling. Had I not taken him snorkeling, I wouldn't have got run over by a jet ski. So Fox, you respond to whether or not, number one, did I get hit by a jet ski, number one? And number two, did the Chinese woman confirm, agree that she hit me with the jet ski? Please, by all means, let me ask you this question. And Fox is saying it's a one-way street, probably because of something him and I discussed briefly. So Fox, yup. Fox 222 Fox 1 says, yup, I was there. You got hit. And yes, she did. Now there's the man that in the video I posted, there's the man that was in the video in the background when the police were there that can confirm I did get hit. She did admit to it. Sinsimo Travel. welcome to the machine. Thank you, Sensimo Travel Vlogs. You have been all over the place. I saw you posting some great stuff on Big Kevin's channel this morning. Scott, digressing back, 222 Fox 1, he is the man in the video. So this is what you can expect. He was there when I was talking to the proprietor. He was there when I was talking to the manager. He was there when I discussed my options with the police. He was there when I got hit. He was there when I got out of the water. He was there when the woman was begging. She was on her knees begging, saying she was sorry. Her whole family was crying. She was truly sorry. Didn't change the fact that she ran over me, and Fox will confirm this. Not only did she run over me and hit me, but she kept going to the shore, which was 350 feet away, leaving me out there not knowing if I was alive or dead. She never stopped. And this is what this, in my opinion, sociopath, piece of human walking, talking, fecal tissue, in my opinion, slash narcissist, in my opinion, slash psychopath, in my opinion. This is what he deems to be upsetting, that because I got hit, I'm not allowed to be upset. She could have killed me, and then she left me out in the ocean to die. And this sociopath says that if I don't have physical injuries to show, which was just a lump on my head, that I am a liar, a scammer, a thief, and an extortionist on his video. That's what that person said. And now when you go to look at that person's video, it's gone. Why is it gone? It's gone because I posted the link with the police in the video, and the men and the woman crying and apologizing and begging me for forgiveness, because I posted the link everywhere. He made a video of me being an extortionist and a liar and a thief and a criminal and antisocial. I posted the link. And then what did he do? He took his video down because it's not real, because that is what sociopaths, narcissists, psychopaths, and flying monkeys do, in my opinion. But it's not just my opinion, it's everybody's. And I feel much better now. This is Rabbi Jew Barker in the Philippines, getting one off, baby. Rubbing one off on that narcissist slash sociopath slash psychopath slash flying monkey. That's right. Thank you. Well, we talked about that person, remember? We did. In fact, we did shows on that person, you and I, that still haven't been. That's the person that we did the shows with at your hotel room. Happy New Year's, Mr. Fazio. Thank you, Sensimo. Well said, Mike. Sensimo Vlogs, Jack Thompson, some mad people about, but I'm also a madman and in the Philippines this year. That'd be cool to meet some more subscribers. Now, I met 222 Fox 1, and he, and I always welcome all the people, even the people that are going to do this and do that, and they're not going to do anything. They're going to meet me at McDonald's, and we're going to have a good day. For the most part, we have fools that think that they're going to do this, that, and the other thing. It's delusions of grandeur. The illusions of grandeur. There's not a lot of people that can do what they think they can do, and the ones that can do what they think they can do don't usually post it on social media. Scott Del Fuego says, to be an extortionist, you had to have tried to extort something. Well, I didn't. All I did was, in the follow-up visit to get my free ride that I was promised, in the follow-up visit, I asked for my free ride that I was promised. But I know I can't extort anybody in the Philippines for anything. I mean, that goes without saying, but I didn't extort anybody. I was promised something so that I would be more lenient on the operator of the establishment and not require all the papers that I could have asked them to show the police. And I was that they would try to relieve the burden on me mentally. They promised me, they agreed to give me a free half hour on the jet ski, but they didn't keep their agreement. So did I have it in writing? No. So basically going back to the title, bend over. If you're a foreigner, you will get nothing from the people in the Philippines. Even they promise you when you go back to get the said promise and the agreement kept, they will tell you, sir, the owner is not here now. So you tell them when is the owner coming. It's in the video later, sir. That owner is never coming back to the beach. He could have been standing there as the tall guy to the left of the proprietor. He might have been the owner. He's never coming back to the beach. And if he was there, they would say he's not there, just so they don't have to give you your free half hour that they agreed to. And then if he was there and he said, yeah, I'm the owner, but it was the manager that said you could have the free ride, but I don't agree with that, you're still not getting a free ride. The only thing you're getting free is you're getting it free, free bend over products. That's all. You're getting free bend over products. That's just why I put it in the title. Bend over. If you're a foreigner coming to the Philippines, bend over and learn to like it, because that's what you're going to get when you get here. Every time you think that you deserve something, you're going to find out that you don't deserve anything. For all your past participation, for all your past purchases in any given store, for all the time you pay 700, 800 pesos a week in just gulay or vegetables, 600, 700, 800 pesos a week in a store. The one time you walk away from the proprietor and say, put string beans and kind of lettuce in my bag, he's going to give you the rotten stuff out of the refrigerator and we're talking about many kilos now, 4 kilos of string beans and 3 kilos of lettuce. He's going to put the rotten stuff on the bottom, put a handful of fresh stuff on top, and he's going to say, here, son, when you go back, and the rotten potatoes with worms. 6 potatoes, 4 were full of worms, 2 were not worms. And he knows the difference. That's what you're going to get the first time you let that guy fill up your bag. Now, you would pick out all fresh string beans and all fresh lettuce, and you would try to find the potatoes with no bugs in it. But no, he gave me 4 fully loaded worm-infested potatoes and 2 good ones, and he gave me 3 kilos of rotten string beans and 1/2 a kilo on top of fresh string beans, in case I looked at the bag, and then 2 lettuces that were going to go off the next day and 1 good lettuce up on top. That's what you're going to get. After 2.5 years of spending $12 a week in his store every week for 2.5 years, and you leave him alone to fill up your bag, he's going to take the rotten vegetables out of his box and put them in your bag. Now, if you pick all fresh vegetables all the time, and you go there, he's going to let you pick fresh vegetables every time. He's going to let you pick what you want, but give him the opportunity to just screw you one time, and he's going to take that opportunity. So now, when I walk through the market, I say, good afternoon, Peter. How are you today? Mike, things are good. We have fresh. Peter, no, thank you. I don't want any rotten food. No, you pick it yourself. Okay, I'm abusing him. No doubt about it. Mentally, I'm abusing him. But he stole from me. He gave me 4 kilos of rotten food when I gave him 2.5 years of business, and he gave me 4 kilos of rotten food. He stole from me. Now I go home. The food is garbage. I bring it back 2 days later. I have to spend 2 hours of traveling to get fresh vegetables. And when I put the food on his counter, Peter, I had the potatoes cut in half. You could see they were infested with worms, which he knew. I said, these 4 potatoes are rotten. Yes. And the lettuce had gone off. It was 2 days later. Yep. And the string beans were garbage. They were garbage. They were all dried out and they had no flavor to them. They were like, they left them on the vine too long. They were dehydrated. Yes. I says, I want fresh. He picks out fresh, and then he tells me how much. I says, wait, you're going to charge me? Of course, I'm going to charge you. So he's charging me for rotten vegetables that he, the boss, the owner, put in the bag. He put it in the bag. I didn't put it in the bag. I went to get pineapple from the back of the store. So he gave me rotten vegetables. He knows he gave me rotten vegetables 2 days ago. I bring the rotten vegetables back, and then he gives me fresh vegetables and wants to charge me full price with no discount for the rotten vegetables, or my time, or my transportation costs. Never, not a penny, ever did I ever spend, not even 5 pesos. So from 700 pesos a week to 0, but I make it a point to walk through the market and see him in his store and say, hello, Peter, how are you? And he'll say, Michael, how are you today? Very good. We'll shake hands. We'll exchange small talk. What do you need today? I said, I need we have cabbage. No, not from you. You sold me rotten vegetables. And he just stands there. He knows what he did. That was 2 years ago. I go in the back. I buy my vegetables in the back. And when I come back, I make it a point to show him my full bag. And when I say full, we're talking about 1.5 to 2 cubic feet of vegetables, because I only go like once every 10 days now. And I say, you have a nice day, Peter. And he'll say, thanks, Mike, you too. But to give me a discount, to say to me, Mike, and I took his videos down, but to say to me, Mike, come, I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. I remember what I did. I'll give you take whatever you want today for free. No, nothing. So you give him good money, you get good vegetables, you allow him to pick the vegetables for one time. He gives you the rotten vegetables. You bring those rotten vegetables back 2 days later. He looks at them. He knows they're rotten vegetables. He knows he gave them to you. He owns the store outright. He's the boss. But I say, give me new vegetables like this. He puts new vegetables in the bag and then charges me full price for the vegetables. That's what you can expect. That's all you're ever going to expect in the Philippines. Okay, now, you know what? Jack Thompson made a comment, but I missed it. So sad to read about the attacks on the number 3s in New York lately. I don't know what a number 3 is, but now I see that Jack is talking about something I didn't read about. So Scott said to be I did not extort anything. Rest in peace, the Jewish people who lost their lives in New York City. So what happened? I don't read the papers. I have not read a single news article about anything, nothing that I read about. 222 Fox says the only thing free in the Philippines is the air you breathe. Hey, 222 Fox, let me tell you something also. That lady, the Chinese lady that I took, remember, we met her on the beach and I invited her to come with us because I said, you want to take a ride? So I went back and I met her and her Chinese friend this week. And I'd have to talk to you on Skype about that. But anyway, here's a woman who I took on a really nice tour with 222 Fox 1, myself, Fox's girlfriend, and this Chinese woman. She could have wrote a check. I told her it was $12 million for a property. She goes, I buy today. She could have wrote a check for the property. That's what she said. And when she asked me if I wanted something to eat, I said, it'd be nice to have the buffet at the Hen Inn. She goes, oh, no, too expensive. This was a few weeks ago. So that's where you see the video where we went and sat down and they had fruit drinks, but I don't eat sweets. I mean, I had some candy because I didn't have much for breakfast, but I don't eat fruit drinks or soda or beer or wine. So I didn't have a fruit drink. But she told me the Hen Inn was too expensive for breakfast at $14, but she could have wrote a check out for $12 million for a property. All right. We have people on the dollar bill here. The potatoes were 100% worm infested. Like there was a worm every quarter of an inch burrowing its way around. There was no part of the potato that wasn't. And Peter hand-picked the potatoes himself. I watched him do it while I was walking away. He went over to the potatoes. So he was the one, and he put the potatoes on the bottom of the bag, which is where they belong. He picked out the rotten potatoes. And now you're going to tell me that the guy who's owned a vegetable store for 30 years doesn't know he's picking up a rotten potato? Not going to tell me that. It's free dry sewer dust everywhere. That's right. Septic water dust, Tommy. That's right. Jeremy Bert, this is why so many countries, even poor, want space programs. So when it really screws up on the earth, their top circle can get out. That makes sense. Michael McFarland, welcome to the machine. Thank you for your assistance this year in being a wrench. And something you said in one of your comments about worrying about that you might have overreacted with your wrench. Don't worry about that. You're my wrench. Do what you want. If I think there's something wrong, I'll talk to you about it. But as a wrench, I can't see all this stuff that's put up. So don't worry about overreacting on your wrench. If you feel they need to be eliminated, just eliminate them. Don't worry about my feelings or their feelings. Okay, that being said, I don't know. No, I brought, this was when I was still living in the apartment building. And, oh God, this is going back 6 years ago, I guess. 5.5 years ago. Yeah, because I had gone there. That was the only place I ever went to. I guess 5 years ago. And he was my exclusive. And I know that because the very first week, the very first time I ever entered into the market, the boys in the market, that I have a video of, gave me breakfast. And he threw me out because he thought I was scamming them for breakfast food. But they invited me. And the next week I went back and he apologized for yelling at me because he yelled at me. And I said, well, all right, if you don't want me in your store, I won't buy anything from you. And then the men explained it to him that they invited me for breakfast. And the next week he actually tracked me down when he saw me going into the market and said he was sorry. So he was my supplier. I was still going there when I met Daisy. So I met Daisy on April 5th of 2016. And I moved here in 2014. So, yeah, it was 2.5 years. And so I was still going there when I met Daisy because she would go there also. Did I? And I did a video on the wormy potatoes. No, I don't know if I did or not. I did other videos on this topic. LaRue Seagrass. Well, thank you very much for stopping by, LaRue. Thank you for the input on the live stream. Appreciate that greatly. Have you had a duck egg? No. No. I will not eat balut. I stopped drinking alcohol. Well, I never drank much anyway, but on August 6th, I think I might have had the last time I drank alcohol, and I may never drink it again. I just don't like it. So I'm never going to get drunk enough to eat one. And I dipped my finger into the juice and tasted it on my tongue. It just reminded me of something I wouldn't eat. I mean, I've worked in septic tanks and got, septic water splashed in my face. And, that's just part of working inside septic tanks. That didn't bother me as much as the taste of one of those duck eggs. And I'm being serious. Hold on a minute. I think maybe somebody's outside. Oh, I know what's outside. They're picking up the Christmas. They're picking up the New Year. Yeah, that's what it is. There's a big party. New Year's Eve, there's a big party for whoever wants to go, just jumps in the van. But it's everybody drinks. Everybody at the party drinks too much. I can't be around that crap. No, maybe I did a video. You know what, Scott? I'll look. If I can find worms with this new program, it has a pretty good search engine in it. So I'm going to check the video on the worms, or I'll look up worms and I'll look up rotten. I might have. I just don't remember. So the first thing I'm going to look up is the word worms. No, nothing on worm. Nothing on worm. Well, nothing there. So let's look up rotten. No, let's look up potato. Zero. No, I guess I didn't. And if I did, I could look up vegetable. This is the store right here. I'm pretty sure. So, but this is a positive video of the store. All right. It doesn't say. All right. Cost of living. Share my videos. YouTube. What day? Doesn't say. Doesn't say the day I loaded this, but all right, we could probably go right here. It should have said what day I loaded it up. It should say it in the description box somewhere. But no, I didn't make a video about the vegetables. but you can search that stuff out. Should have done that. But at the time, got to remember, at the time I was a little bit less comfortable with being here and telling people what it's really like to live here.
50, 300. Then you have eggs.
Okay, that's a different, no, that's not even the store. Now, I try to give people exactly what it's like here, and I don't hold anything back because, you know, giving people bad information is what, you know, you got all these worthless shows that somebody says, how much does it cost to live in the Philippines? And then somebody will tell you, oh, you could live here. You got that bum saying you could live here for $500. Okay. You can't live here for $500. Not like in America. But you could live here for $750 by yourself. But if you're living with a woman, you need to figure $1,000 a month to live okay comfortably. In $300 for the apartment, and you're going to spend $10,000 on food. That's $200. That's $500. 3 and 5. But you got these bums here telling you that you could live here for $500. You can't live here for $500. They give you these worthless videos where they give you their food bill and how much they spent on food. What a worthless endeavor to think that people are interested in seeing the minutia of your food bill. Come on, really? Really? That somebody wants to hear that you spent 80 pesos on cigarettes this week and 160 pesos on beer this week? Why don't you just give it? Yeah, I smoked cigarettes, I drank beer, I bought cup, I had transportation, I spent, and give the total. Not the minutia of how many freaking cigarettes you smoked and how much each cigarette is. I don't do that. And then you have people saying you could live here for $500 a week. You can't live here for $500 a month. You can't live here for $500 a month. And then you have the idiots, the idiot, telling you that it costs $60 a month for your immigration fees when it only costs $30. But there are other expenses, but the immigration fees are $30 a month, and then you have to buy a new ACR card once a year, and that's 2,000 pesos. So that's 2,000 divided by 12. That's another 150 pesos a month. And so you're talking about, cost you about $34 a month for your immigration and your ACR card, not $70 a month or $60 a month, whatever that idiot said in his live stream. You can't get good information here. All right, so Scott says, all right, so but I looked up rotten. Let's you know what? Let me look up rotting. Okay, I'll continue looking. Actually, I good afternoon, Michael speaking. Who's this? John? There's nobody by John that name here. My name, Joycel? Wait, go ahead. Say that. Please repeat that. Say again. You are Joy? There is nobody here by the name of Joy. Sorry. Never anybody named Joy. And they hang up. Okay, so Filipinos are not much for saying, okay, thank you. They're not much for that either. Got to be honest with you. So let's go back and look for rotting. Let's go back and look for rotting. R-O-T-I. I don't know what to say, Scott. I think I should have made a video. I didn't. ROTTING. Should have come up with the Chinese plywood. Oof. I got one here that's one of a YouTube vlogger said that Michael Fazio is full of flesh-eating bacteria and stinks like dead, decaying, rotting whale flesh. Okay, I got one that says that, but no, I don't have anything else up on the board for that. Sin Simo. Wait. All right. So wait a second. I searched bacon. LOL. Bacon. Jeremy. You can, if you eat dead bugs and palm fronds, live in a sewer pipe and drink water. LOL. $500 would mean that there is a way that you could live on $500, but you're not going to like it. Number one, you see the aircon goes on and off as is necessary. If you lived with your Filipina girlfriend or with a family of Filipinos in a thatched hut, let's say in a thatched hut, with you got to remember now what I'm talking about is no windows, no screens, no doors, basically, just like a room with a roof over your head, where without a refrigerator and without air conditioning, naturally, maybe a fan at night. For that rent, I think you could spend about $40 a month for rent to live in a house like that. And some of them are bigger than just my shack. Some of them are bigger than that. You could have 20 people living in a bigger house, but it would probably cost the foreigner $40 a month. Now you have to buy your own food, and you have to buy your own food fresh every day. So whatever you eat in far as food, but you got to figure it's going to cost you 500 pesos a day for food to go buy street food or fresh food every day. So that's 500 is $10. So every week, $70 a week. That's 300 for food. Okay, so you're talking about 300 for food and 40 for your rent, and another say 30 for your immigration fees. That's 370. You got transportation, so add another $30. That's $400. What does that leave you? $100 for what? Aspirin? If you take 2 aspirin every day, that's 14 pesos a day times 30. That's 420 pesos a month. Just that it's 420 pesos a month. What does that leave you? That leaves you 420 from 5,000 pesos. Leaves you 580 pesos. What about let's say you wanted to go out for dinner just one time at Burger King? That's going to cost you $5. You're down to, now you have $80 left, 4,000 pesos. You can't live here for $500. Unless, like Scott said, you eat bugs and palm fronds. Well, you have to think you're going to need, but for $750 a month, then you can move up per person for a foreigner, $750 a month. Then you could live in an apartment with windows and doors and buy some decent food, but you're living on a minimal level. You're not going to go scuba diving or go on vacation. You're not going to go. I've been to probably 7 different islands on diving or snorkeling or swimming vacations, or to meet women before I met Daisy. And each vacation, every vacation I went on cost $1,000, every one. Plus, That's $1,000 spending money. Plus I had to pay my rent where I lived with my refrigerator electric. So that would add another $350 or $400 to the bill. So every time I went away for 3 weeks, my vacations were 2 to 3 weeks, I spent $1,500, $500 a week for a vacation only. And that included transportation and food and some inexpensive hotels like $10, $15, $20 a night. Nothing fancy. So if you want to go on vacation, you're going to spend with a girl with food for a decent hotel you're going to spend $800 a week. Not going to get Fox 2221. He can tell you what he just spent. He dropped a wad here, a big wad. I don't know how much it was, but I know it was a lot more. His room was $30 bucks a day. You got a major discount. And so you're talking about just his room rent was $2,030 bucks a day times 7 to 200,000. His room rent was 12,000 pesos with the taxes. All right, so that's $200. But he had to get here. You know, you can't live here for less than $750 a week for one person. If you have a Filipina girlfriend, $200 a week would be more than enough. You should be able to deal with a Filipina girlfriend that's single with no children for $100 a week. But if they have children or they're wearing braces, go to $200 a week for your girlfriend. So $750 for a single American, decent apartment, nowhere near the water. Forget looking at the ocean. Forget view altogether. Forget mountain view. Forget anything. You're going to be looking at trees or the house next door, and that's going to cost you $350 a month. Now, the place that I lived in was $300 a month when I moved in. I don't know how much it is now. $600, $650 a month. And you might wait 2 years to get 1 day in that building, 1 day's rent. Ugly. American living in the Philippines. People hate the truth. Thank you. Ugly. American living in the Philippines. Right on Fazio. Jeremy Burt. Michael's at the beach. Crabs and coconuts all day. Maybe one day. Laguna Beach. I've never been there. Actually, okay, Ugly says, American living in the Philippines. Ugly American living in the Philippines. Oh, okay. Ugly. Actually, they hate the truth tellers. Yeah, no one likes me. We'll have that fraud, that sanctimonious hypocrite, in my opinion, sociopath, narcissist, psychopath, and or flying monkey. He will come on and say, I demeaned the Philippines, when all I did was tell the truth. And not only that, I can assure you that there are people in authority that are not only watching my videos, but the sociopath and or narcissist and or psychopath and or flying monkey, in my opinion. They're watching his videos too. Rest assured, we are being monitored. But I don't lie about anything. And I make them laugh. That's the difference. Fit couple in the Philippines. If it's not seaside, it's probably too hot, and it's probably not a very nice place. So, do you live on the close to the ocean? Fit couple in the Philippines? Because it's not easy to find a place anymore like that. I don't. He's blocked. Sinsimo, if someone has proven themselves to be a psychopath, in my opinion, whether it's my opinion or not, if they're a psychopath or if I believe them to be a narcissist, they are blocked. Rest assured, I blocked, between myself and my renters, we blocked several people last week. I blocked 2 people today. Yeah. Okay. So fit couple in the Philippines says, yes, I live in Iligan Bay. Very nice. Yeah, you're right about having that extra 4 or 5 degree drop in temperature, sometimes more, because of the hung in, the wind. Wind is hung in, like the word hang, but add in, but say hung in. Hung in. The wind makes it a big difference. Right now, the wind is blaring out there. Yes, actually, yesterday morning when I got up at 3:30 in the morning, the wind off the ocean at high tide, so it smelled like salt there, was actually cool. Probably 72, 73 degrees here, 74. It was the first time I felt cool air, but it was coming in right off the ocean. And the beautiful thing about that is you can hear the waves when the wind is coming in off the ocean. And really nice thing to be able to hear the waves at night. I've never lived on an ocean before. I always lived on deep water canals or bays. But now that I'm near the ocean, that's one advantage to living on the ocean is at night you can hear the waves crashing on the beach. Okay, so I'm going to say thank you, and I think I'm actually gonna go vegetable shopping. I need to get vegetables, and I have also want to do some bank stuff, and I want to get some other things. I'm going to say thank you to everybody. One of my next shows is going to be strictly about a narcissist, in my opinion. And I'm going to put down the characteristical traits, but I'm going to put them in order. And I'm not even going to look at the comments until I'm done reading all the characteristical traits of somebody I believe to be the perfect sociopath, the perfect narcissist, in my opinion. Somebody I believe to be the perfect flying monkey and the perfect psychopath, in my opinion. I'm going to put down 40 things in my next show. It'll probably be a New Year's night show. I'm going to put down 40 things that person / narcissist / sociopath / psychopath, 40 things that they've did or did to me in the year 2019, including things that could be considered criminal. And I'm going to put those 40 things down, and without mentioning names, because, it's not right to mention anybody's name. I'm going to put down 40 things that this psychopath / narcissist / sociopath / flying monkey and his or her flying monkey, in my opinion, what they did and who they did it to. Might not just be me, and some of those things are criminal offenses that they will possibly maybe have to deal with sometime in the very, very near future. So that's my blog for New Year's Eve 2019. I'll say thank you again to everybody watching. Happy New Year's to fit couple in the Philippines. Let's see who they are. Maybe they have some videos that other people, my subscribers, might be interested in. Go to their channel here. They have 675. Okay. They have a beach cleanup in Mindanao. Iligan Bay. Oh my God, you live in Iligan? That's right, you said that. Okay, so these are legitimate. I am subscribed, but look what they did. They took off they unrang the bell. I am subscribed, but they unrang the bell. So I'll ring the bell. So fit couple in the Philippines. You live in Iligan City. And let me ask you a question, seriously. Now, I know people that have men that live in Zamboanga. And is it okay for you to move around at night? Let's say you were in the city, in Iligan City. Is that okay? Is there an added danger because you're a white man in Iligan City? Because I always heard Iligan had was not safe for white people. So if you were by yourself walking around at night without your Asawa or your Akong Babae, would it be okay for you to walk around in the city? That's my question. Paige High. Paige High, welcome to the machine. Paige High, I want to do a whole. Thank you very much for an enjoyable year, and your comments and the wonderful super chat that you sent me the other day that made me embarrassed and made me laugh and made me aware that if you abuse somebody properly, they will send you money. I know that's a terrible attitude, but damn, I was being abusive, and how did Paige shut me up? He sent me $19.99. At which point, what I had to do, we're dry. Hold on. What I had to do was apologize to Paige High. Profusely apologize to Paige High. Prolifically apologize to Paige High. Okay, hold on. I got to get water, and I'll show you the proper way to apologize to your customer. Wow, we're running out of water. All right. I'm going to show you the only real way, a man's way, the way a man apologizes to his subscribers. So what you first have to understand is if you're a YouTube personality and you like to abuse people, or you abuse people by accident because it's in your nature to abuse people, and then those people are on your channel while you're abusing them, and they don't know why they're being abused. So you abuse them further because of they got to the show late. So now Paige High, who's a real doctor, by the way, got to the show late and didn't see the beginning of the show. So I got upset that he asked me a question about the beginning of the show. And I said, well, blah, 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 Paige High. And he's been a long-term subscriber. And I know I was making a mistake when I did it, but I went off on this weird tangent that people need to pay attention to what I say, because what I say is the truth, how important it is to give somebody instructions or deliver orders to somebody or deliver instructions or make them aware you want. And I went off on this weird tangent, and Paige High said, I came in late. So I said, oh, well, if he came in late, I apologize. And then how does he punish me? Paige High, my subscriber for many, many years, and I know he's he punishes me that I when I admitted I made a mistake and I was at fault, Paige High punished me by sending me a $19.99 super chat, which point I felt destroyed. I felt destroyed. He destroyed my ego. And at which point, what occurred was crocodile tears that look a little bit like this. Oh, woof. I lowered the temperature in the refrigerator. Holy macaroni. And this is what crocodile tears look like. Paige High made me cry crocodile tears. Thank you very much, Paige High. Anytime you want to make me cry, knock yourself out. But not today. Next year, maybe. I was crying crocodile tears. I was crying crocodile. And next year, I'm going to show you. I also, being that we're talking about crocodile tears, the shirts that I had made with the vertical lip shirts that have crocodile tears on them. I just want you to know I had 77,000 shirts delivered to Alona Beach a few weeks ago. They're all gone. They're all gone. Digressing back to Paige High, making me feel like a worthless human being and proving that I was a worthless human being. He sent me money because I abused him properly. As Warren H. would say, So let me give you an update on Warren H. Him and I spoke last night for 35 minutes. He's doing well. They found a Monopoly set, or somebody brought in a Monopoly set for himself and 5 other cancer patients, and that they were going to play Monopoly. He was in good spirits. He had good color. He was in ICU for 8 days, out for a day and a half, back in for 4 days, out for 1 day, half a day, back in for 3 days, and now he's out again. On after New Year's, which will be tomorrow, they're going to put him back on chemotherapy. So I made a video of us laughing and smiling and having fun that I will send to the few friends, the close friend group that is getting smaller, by the way. And because if I don't hear a response from a lot of the people that I'm sending the videos out to, then I'll just stop taking the time to send the videos. So let's look at this. I asked fit couple in the Philippines if it was safe for him, the man, to walk around at night, and if he was still here, if he could give us an answer, because Iligan City is one of the places I was told would not be a good place to be for a white man in the Philippines at night. Same Zamboanga. In the daytime, it seems to be okay, but at night, not so much. Flying Circus. Now, Flying Circus it's a great channel. Happy New Year's, Flying Circus. And he has put up some fantastic videos about, he's got this one video, I think he had a blogger in Cebu in mind when he put the video up. It's called Spernips, Spernips, Spernips. Now, as crazy as this sounds, Flying Circus finds some of the strangest videos on YouTube. And Flying Circus has been having he's been having thoughts about a particular blogger. And he found this video called Spernips that he relates to the blogger somehow. It's either in the comments or in the title or some sort of introduction. But anyway, so to give you an idea what kind of a strange channel Flying Circus is, he might do the first episode of My Favorite Martian or McHale's Navy or something like that. But then he found this guy who's a man who knows he's a man, but I get the impression is a gay man. And Flying Circus has been watching his videos for quite a while because he likes crazy videos. And this guy does about the craziest video that you're ever going to see in your whole life. So Flying Circus, if you go to Flying Circus and you look up Spernips, Spernips, Nips, you're going to find a video on how to make Spernips. And it's the strangest recipe that anybody's ever seen or heard. Got to tell you, you're never going to, once you see how to make a Spernip, you will never forget the procedure, ever. You will never, for the day you die, you should thank God if you die without thinking of what a Spernip is. That's how immemorable the word Spernip is going to be etched into your brain for all time. You're never going to forget what a Spernip is or how it's made, and or the first person that you saw make a Spernip, and the only person that ever made a Spernip. He is the creator of Spernips. Got to tell you, one of the strangest videos on YouTube, and it's on Flying Circus channel. Happy New Year, Flying Circus. Jim Chewy, welcome to the machine. Happy New Year's, Daddy-O. Salamat, Jim. Happy New Year's back at you and yours. Bye-bye, John Boone. Thanks for stopping by. John Boone has a great channel. Just put up a really cool video on how to make wine. And he has other videos about glass blowing and so on and so forth. Go to John Boone's channel, John Boone Beans channel, and subscribe. Paige, hi, Happy New Year. Thank you. I always feel honored when a professional like Scott Del Fuego or Paige High or Mercury or somebody like that is or Clark Henderson in the field making tons of because of 16 years of schooling. Let's make it clear. Doctors and certain professionals earn their keep. I always find it to be like a badge of honor that someone like Paige High comes to my channel. So big shout out to Dr. Paige High, and thank you for being the person that you are, and thank you for all the years of friendship that you have given myself and my channel. God bless you. Thank you very much, Paige High. Appreciate it. And moving on, Simo Travel Vlogs. Simo Travel Vlogs. I don't live near the beach. I live closer than near the beach, Simo. So, actually, living near the beach would quantify, if you can see the beach, that's living near a beach. So let's leave it at that. Have a great New Year's Eve. Adios to 2019, and I hope you have an outstanding and success-filled 2020. Thank you for all the entertainment and friendship in 2019, says Scott Del Fuego. And Scott Del Fuego has been one of the most prolific wordsmiths that I've ever met. Super chatter, and just bumped his level up on Patreon to one of the highest levels possible. And he's been a friend who I speak with on the phone. And had I been able to get in touch with Warren this morning, I would have called Scott, because sometimes the three of us have had three-way conversations, but that didn't happen. And thank you very much, Scott, for all that you have done for myself and Miss Daisy May as well. She did ask about you, tell me to tell you to have a nice Christmas. I have not spoken with Daisy in 3 days, but she did mention that the last time I spoke with her. Thank you, Scott, for your warm wishes and your Happy New Year's blessings. I don't know what to say. Thank you. You've been... Scott Del Fuego is a friend. People say, there are these sociopaths and narcissists on YouTube that say you can't have a friend. I met a few people on here that I became friends with. Fox 222 Fox 1, for instance. He's been talking to me for 5 years, and we finally met, and we had 3 fantastic days together, and his girlfriend. With not the 3 of us together, but the 3 of us walking, doing tours and stuff like that. I met several people. I met another blogger this week that I spent 2 days with. She did not want to be on video. Not a blogger, another subscriber. She didn't want to be on video, so I didn't put her on video. I never even took the video camera out. But, I met a lot of people that I've become friends with on YouTube. And I don't mind meeting strange people. I don't worry about what they and as far as people saying, I'm going to do this, and you're not going to do anything. You're not going to do a damn thing. Nothing. I'm not talking about the normal people. We're going to go out for dinner. I'm talking about the people that are going to do angry things. They're not going to do anything. It's all talk, big mouth cowards that are throwing threats around on YouTube like they're confetti. Not doing anything, dude. All the stuff, all the videos that you put up of how tough you are and what you're going to do, and you can dance, and you could do this, and you could do that. I watched you dance. I watched a dance video yesterday, in fact. And the guy was dancing, and And at the end of the dance, he fell over. When he spun around, he fell over. So he's not much of a dancer either. But he had to take that video down because of people just made fun of him dancing. So he thinks he can dance, and he talks a big talk about being a dancer and how the dance could mean anything related to any subject matter. But when he was dancing, when he did the spin around, he fell over. And then he had to cut that out. So he's had to take that video down. No, he didn't. I don't know if he took it down. He puts a lot of videos up. He had over 3,500 videos, and now only 1,300 videos are still up because he made a lot of mistakes, realized he probably committed a lot of crimes or criminal offenses or made criminal threats or statements or stupid things he said. The Happy New Year to him that he had to review 3,000 videos to find out that he had made some very egregious mistakes. Some of them he can be liable for in a court of law. And he doesn't matter because the electronic signature of those videos have been, in fact, recorded with timestamps and transcripts, so it won't make a difference that if he keeps going through his repertoire of videos, it ain't gonna. Happy New Year to the so-called and or, in my opinion, narcissist, sociopath, flying monkey, and or psychopath. Happy New Year that you spent 10 days reviewing your videos. Yeah, baby. That's how I wanted to spend my holiday vacation, not upside down. And never mind. So, Paige High, you are the machine. Salamat, Paige High. Welcome to the machine. And Paige High knows that the word, by definition, because Paige High is a real doctor, by definition, the human body is the most sophisticated and complex machine in the world, in the universe, in the known galaxy. In other words, because it has the ability to breathe and pass gas and burp and see things and interpolate words and interpolate sounds and hear sounds and see sounds and think and create, and that the human body is the most complex machine ever. It has the ability to take vegetables and turn it into flesh, and it has the ability to take flesh and turn it into flesh, and it has the ability to take vegetables and turn it into blood, and it has the ability to take water and turn it into mucous membrane to lubricate your nose so your nose doesn't dry up and crack and you bleed to death through your nose. It has the ability to pump blood to your brain. It has the ability to make a heart pump X amount of beats for X amount of years. The human body is the most complex machine ever known to anybody. No computer will ever be able to do what the human brain can do for the human body. That's why when I say welcome to the machine, I mean welcome to me as the machine that's running the show here, but you are also the machine, and people don't get it. That's what Pink Floyd was talking about too. They weren't talking about a car or an elevator. They were talking about the human body. Welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. And where is the machine? The machine is your body. And where is your body, or what is your body, or what determines what is a body is your brain. And what determines what you're thinking in your brain are little electrical pulses that jump from nerve to nerve called synapses. And what is an electrical synapses other than a possible thought process or part of a thought process? And what created the electric to make the thought process happen in the first place? No one knows. Nobody knows. That is the machine. And welcome, my son, welcome to the machine. They weren't welcoming you into the synapses of the nerve of the end of the dendrites at the end of the nerves. They weren't welcoming you. I say I'm not reading this stuff either. I know this stuff. They weren't welcoming you to the dendrites at the end of the nerves. They were saying, move into your mind. Welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. That's what Pink Floyd was saying. They were not saying, Oh, look, I got a new car. It sounds like an elevator. They weren't. They were talking about the inside of the human mind. That's what they were talking about. Not a car, not an elevator, not a fancy nothing. They were talking about welcome, because that's where they get their. Where do you get your ideas, your dreams, and your thoughts from? You get it from a series of synapses that move between the dendrites at the end of the nerves, and you get all of this stuff, and I'm able to talk to you, and you're able to listen, even if you don't understand. You get all of this information and receive all this information on a little synapses or electrical impulses that don't make any sense, and then it stores all of that stuff. Everything you ever did since birth is stored inside your brain. That is the machine. Am I right, Page High? Am I right? Page High would be able to confirm because he's a doctor. Okay, so we're going back up. Thank you very much, Scott. Man, Bear, Pig. Hey, welcome to the machine. Thank you for stopping by. One of my wrenches, modern day Jim Jones minus Jim minus Jones, the one and only M. Fazio. Salamat, the Jim Jones. I know Jim Jones did have a following, but minus the Jim Jones. I get it. Thank you. We are like a Pied Piper minus the Pied Piper making the lemmings move off the cliff. Thank you very much, Page High. Fit couple in the Philippines. All right, thank you. You can remove that comment if you like. Leave it up there for my wrenches. But thank you for the truth. So I won't even. Fit couple in the Philippines answered the question that in certain parts of the Philippines at night, he would not feel comfortable walking around. And that's what I thank you. Thank you very much. So Fit Couple has a channel, and apparently he's a very honest man to confirm that what I thought was true, but I only heard it. I never spoke with a person from Iligan City before, ever. Not once did I ever remember speaking about that, but he gave me an honest answer. So Fit Couple in the Philippines has a channel, and they're posting videos from Iligan. You might want to go check out his channel and subscribe and see what it's like to live in a different part of the Philippines, near an ocean or a waterway. Thank you very much, Fit Couple. Happy New Year as well. Crocodile Tears, they came and went. Hope it's not a shotgun. Big shout out to Warren H. Big shout. I hope he posted a video after I spoke with him yesterday. He posted a Happy New Year video from Warren H. from the hospital, San Simon. Yeah. Scott Del Fuego, the wordsmith. You know what? It's New Year's. Let's see how long we can keep Michael Fazio talking. Okay, let's see how long. Probably several more hours because I have 3 more bottles of water, cold. All right. We'll have a New Year's Eve party here in the. I do have to call my. Scott Del Fuego says, thanks, Michael. The barf is coming up the back of my throat. I think he relates the Spurnip guy to a sociopath / psychopath / narcissist / flying monkey based on they look and act so much alike. Oh, God. I would have to agree with your assessment, Scott Del Fuego, the wordsmith making statements that might very well be true. No, thank you. Happy New Year. Okay. I'm not sure why I got a no thank you from Page High. So, okay. So we're talking, he was saying it was about something else. Would you like to see the inside of a UK prison, Michael? Yes. Do you have video of that? It would be interesting. I like the look. Has anybody here ever been in prison? I've been in prison, but only to view what it was like to be in prison. I had a bid on a job, pretty interesting place. Been in jail a couple of times, but prison only just to look at a job. And that was, well, that was a long time ago. Send Simo blogs. Would I like to see the inside of a prison? Yeah, that'd be cool. Send me the video. Fit couple in the Philippines says, I consult and work with doctors and agree they are definitely honorable. That, well, to the best of their ability, some of them are. And I think they all mean well. That's why, I mean, I actually, but I don't think that all of them, from being in the Philippines, I just think that the ones that I went to did the best they could to get me better, but they didn't make me better. And it cost me 40,000 pesos, 20 trips to the doctor's office, 5 different doctors, 3 different hospitals. So were they trying? Probably. To the best of their ability? Probably. But they just don't have, here, they don't have the education necessary to do some of the things that they believe they can do. I don't think they intentionally did something wrong. I do think the dentist intentionally screwed up my teeth in several places. That I can't prove, but some of his work fell apart when it should not have. So thank you very much, Fit Couple, and if you go to his page, you're going to see a very, very well-built, in shape man, Fit Couple, which is why I guess he says Fit Couple in the Philippines. If he's still working out, he looks like he's working out on a regular basis. Very strong man. Thank you for the comment. That's right. Yeah, I started telling people a few months ago, don't give him a thumbs down, give him a thumbs up, Simo. This way he'll keep making videos and spending his entire day in wasting. Now, people say, oh, you're always on. Nah, I'm not always on YouTube. In fact, I just posted a 2-hour video, which was only part of 7 or 8 hours out doing stuff yesterday. I can't live stream my entire life, but yesterday I spent the entire day doing work on fixing my water distiller. I set up a set of batteries. I got a pair of batteries working. One battery I brought back to life. I don't know how long it'll last, but I did find some things wrong with the cables. Now, the cables to the batteries were okay, because the last time the machine was in for service, I cleaned all those terminals just 5 months ago, so they should not need the battery. And I put on a special oil called corrosion block. However, I do remember that at the time, I didn't have an 15/16 wrench. 11/16 wrench. An 11/16 wrench to pull off 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 bolts that were holding down the shroud. And without the 11/16, I could have did it with vice grips, but I just didn't want to. And I said to myself, if the machine runs after I clean the 4 terminals on the battery and the 4 terminals on the wire harnessing, and it still didn't run. So then I went into the cab and I took the knife switch apart, and it still didn't run. And then I went and took the switch apart, not the whole switch apart, but the terminals the wires that went to the switch, and it still didn't run. So I had to remove the terminal block, which should have been grounded to the machine, but wasn't because rust built up underneath the terminal block. And apparently someone spilled oil on top of the terminal block. So it caused like an insulation to occur between the terminal block and the machine. So when I took the terminal block off, it had 2 bolts, and those bolts went to the grounded side of the terminal. So the bolts were rusty where I discarded the bolts. The terminal block itself had oil between it and the shroud, it and the machine started. So when I cleaned all that, the machine started. But last week, the machine wasn't taking a charge. And that's what I was complaining about last week. I said, nah, there's no way that the terminals are rotted. And the terminal block, all that stuff was oiled properly. Plus, I did maintenance on the machine in September. I had to do some maintenance on the machine. So I did. So I said that there's only one. I took the terminals off and I cleaned everything anyway because that's just the way. But this time I took the shroud off and took the 11/16. How many? There's 3, 6, 9, 11. There's only 2 on that. So 11/16 bolts off. And from the top of the carriage of the machine, I could get down to the ground on the machine. And when I took the ground off, I have no idea why the machine ever started up at all. The terminal, it's a Mitsubishi machine, and the terminal was made of a high quality bronze crimped on terminal onto a high quality bronze flexible wire, probably good for 60, well, not 60, probably good for 120 amps and to service 120 amps. So I took that off. And when I looked at the terminal and I looked at where it bolted to the machine, it actually bolted to a hose clamp that went around something. It was a clamp that clamps a hose or pipe in this case. And when I took it off, I'm saying, why did this machine ever start? I mean, there's no reason. No, it was 100% rust on the metal side of the machine and 100% oxidation on the bronze fitting side of the machine, on the bronze crimped on terminal. I'm going, why is this machine starting? Why is it even turning over? Cleaned it up with some 36 grit sandpaper. Then I polished it with a wire brush, and then I cleaned off the metal with the same 36 grit and polished that with a wire brush. Then I took a grinder to the frame. So I didn't want to grind off the dust, the heavy rusted part, because I didn't want to breathe in dust inside in the compartment of the machine. And I grinded that clean, and then I put on a lubricant, a special electrical, carries current, but it also lubricates and preserves. And I put some lubricant back on, and I put the cable back to the pipe clamp. Put the pipe clamp. That was a stud that was on the. It went over a stud, the pipe clamp. So it wasn't a nut and bolt, but it was in a tight spot. I put that back together and went like this, and the machine started right up. So it was a bad contact to the ground, not the cables. But the cables were bad 6 months ago, and the machine still started. But it started okay. But from having the bad ground, it wasn't getting all the amperage. Yesterday, when I fixed that last link in the electrical circuit, which is the ground, and turned the key over, it went boom, and started right up. That's how important it is to get to that ground cable that usually they bury under the bottom of a car. They could put it right up on top of the block, but they don't. They usually put it down low somewhere on the transmission or on the drivetrain somewhere. So that's what I did. That's one thing I did yesterday, and that's it. Wes Sleeman. He's a long-term subscriber. Thank you for stopping by. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Wes. Thank you for stopping by. No, I'm not. I'm going to go on for a couple more hours, I think. I'll just have something to eat. Wes Sleeman, rice and water, $500 a month. That's about all you're going to get here. That for $500 a month, you're not going to get more than that. Actually, that's true. Ed, welcome to the machine. Sin Simo. Banking sounds like wanking to me, Jeremy. All right. I have never thumbs Frank up, but I had to encourage such behavior in hope he would continue entertaining, acting like a buffoon. I'm not real sure who you're talking about. But if you want to encourage behavior, please, by all means, do so. Ed Lippert, welcome to the machine. Happy New Year. Wes Sleeman says, if you live in a shack, less than 500. Yep, that's true. That's the only way that, because Wes knows that even rice is 10 pesos for one scoop. And to be honest, when I go to Payag in Alona Beach, you get a good meal, and it's well worth it. If you're just going to eat once a day, it's still $3, $4 really for one meal. So you can get a chicken breast with the wing, or you can get the leg with, the thigh bone and the leg, and unlimited rice for about 160 pesos now. They just redid the whole restaurant, so I'm thinking it's going to be 169 for the rice and the chicken, and maybe 199 with the skewer of pork. But I don't get that because I don't enjoy it as much as some people might. But so I'm thinking, so for $4 you can get unlimited rice. So you can really fill up, but it's going to cost you $4 a day for that one meal. So figure 30 days, if you ate that every day, that's $120. Add $35 for your immigration fees. But we have another price in immigration fees that I did not go over. I'll go over it now. So it's $35 a month, but you got to get to the city to pay your transportation. And now you got to do it twice because they charge you for the express service lane, but they don't give you the express service. Even if the place is dead empty, they'll make you come back in 2 weeks. I don't know why they do it. They just do it like that. So you got to pay transportation twice. So figure another 100 pesos once every 2 months, or 50 pesos a month minimum. So that's if it's just one jeepney. So you have $35. Say you have $36 for your immigration fees each month, and then add another 2,000 pesos for a card, another $150. So say you got $40 a month for your immigration fees times 12. Well, that's $500 a year. 600. Just round it out to 600. All right, that's not so bad, but you have to leave the country every 3 years. Every 36 months, you have to leave for 48 hours. So whatever that trip costs, in my trip to America cost me $35,000 last time I went. No, a little bit less than that. But if you do with the flip-flop, I spent $20,000. That's what I spent on my trip to America. So, but you could go to America and come back for $4,000 maybe if you had a place to stay. So you got to add that. So you got to add another $4,000, which is another $100 a month. So it's really more than $36. You go to Vietnam and it costs you $500 for the trip, but either way, you can. So if you went to Payag every single day, that's $120 a month. If you had a girlfriend, That's $240 a month just for food for one meal a day only. Of course, you can have unlimited rice. One of the few places that you can have it. But you can't do that every day. I mean, if you have a girlfriend, she's going to want something else. So you can't live on $500 a month. You could live on rice. And even if you cook rice at your house, you can only cook that rice on wood. You can't use a gas or electric to cook that rice. No way. That's right, Wes. Fit couple in the Philippines. Many people want to remain comfortably numb. Unfortunately, they become addicted to toxins. So, being that you are in the field of health, I will tell you, fit couple in the Philippines. Last night, I took 2 aspirins. 2. That was the first time I took an aspirin. Well, I took one about a week ago, I think. But, all right, so this aspirin, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bought these in August. So I took 5 aspirins since August. And that was the only medication I've taken since August. I have not taken any cold medicine or antibiotics or nothing. In fact, I haven't taken any medication in a year. So I don't take much medication, but I know what you're talking about. Paige High was saying, I was sitting here thinking, how does he know all this? Ah, you're talking about the synapses and the dendrites. Yes. That's because when I don't have anything to do, I just read. I read the Encyclopedia Britannica. I had it on disc, on 2 discs. I read it multiple times, the entire Encyclopedia Britannica from cover to cover in hardcover. And then I bought the and this was in the 90s. And then I bought the encyclopedia from Encyclopedia Britannica on disc, which I have somewhere. And I read that multiple times. And I read the Webster's 20th Unabridged Dictionary 6, 7, or 8 times. And when I say I read the Encyclopedia Britannica, I opened up at the introduction book, which was 360 pages, and read every word and every comma and every paragraph and every sentence, every name and every person that the articles were attributed to, and every document that was attributed, and every word, whether I could pronounce it or not, I tried to pronounce it. And the stuff that, when I got to something that I didn't understand, I did not necessarily go and find out what that was. I just read through the encyclopedia several times. And then maybe the second or the third time, which it takes several months to read it. But then after I was done reading for the day, I would go research something that I read about that intrigued me. I'd make a note. So I read the Encyclopedia Britannica literally 6 times, I would say. I would say I read it cover to cover 6 times. And I would say I read the Webster's 20th Unabridged Dictionary more times than that. I read the King James Version of the Bible more, from cover to cover the same way, more times than anybody I ever met, including any priest or cardinal or bishop, because they read passages. They glean shit that's interesting to them, not actual necessary facts. They don't do a lot of stuff with the information they give you about religion. It's all hocus pocus. But anyway, about the dendrites and the synapses, I just love that kind of crap. And I related it to a story I wrote about Pink Floyd that I never had published, but it's on a diskette. That's how long ago it was, when we still had diskettes, and I still have a diskette driver in my big computer. But I just love medical stuff. I love how I love the fact that to this day, till New Year's 2020, New Year's Eve, to this day, they still can't, in a laboratory, so they say, I don't know if it's true or not, they still can't turn light into vegetable matter to make food. They still can't do that. They do have a process that they got from pond scum. And I'm being serious. They took a pond that had frogs in it, and they took some pond scum out of the pond, and then they took some part of the pond scum down, separated it. And that part is the part that lets light go into those molecules that creates the scum in the pond. But they can't put an amino acid chain of molecules together to create that pond scum in a laboratory. They can use the pond scum to create more pond scum, but they can't create with the molecules they have in their possession. They can't create life. Basically, they can't create life. Not possible for them to create life. So we're talking about all the people that ever existed for all of time, all the scientists, all the trillions of dollars they spend on research and development, and they can't create using the molecules, putting the molecules together in a certain grouping to make pond scum. I just thought that was one of the articles that just stuck out, was bizarre. And the other interesting article, and I don't know how many pages that was, but the other most interesting article anybody will ever read in all of their lifetime is the Encyclopedia Britannica, the Encyclopedia Britannica, and what is money? How does finance work? It's 26 pages in the Encyclopedia Britannica from the year 2001 on diskette. It's 21 pages. It's the longest article in Encyclopedia Britannica's history of being the Encyclopedia Britannica. And it explains every aspect of money and how money works and why money works. And at the end of the article, at the end of 26 pages, with all the world's leading experts and financial advisors and bankers and sources, and the Federal Reserve, people that work for the Federal Reserve, people that work for the Bank of England, people that work for the United States the government, the United States Treasury, after all the articles, after all the words, the longest article in the Encyclopedia Britannica, a statement is made saying that we know that the financial system of the world works, and the but is, if the people didn't make it work, it wouldn't work. In other words, there's nothing holding up the financial system of the world except belief, and belief that the system should work. But if the people decided that they wanted their money out of the bank to use for real goods, the world's economy would collapse in 12 hours. So nothing in the 26 articles wasn't true that it works, and that stock works this way, money works that way, interest rates work this way. All the stuff that has to do with money is in the book. And at the end, the article said that it only works because people believe in the system. If they stopped believing in the system and said, let me have my money back out of the bank, everybody would be holding a handful of paper, and the world economy would collapse that day. That was an interesting article. Ed Lippitt, he feels safe walking around his barangay at night. Very nice, Ed. Machine. Yeah. I walk everywhere. I walk through the city. I walk through every aspect of Bahal alone. I don't have any problems ever. Never once did I ever have a problem. Doesn't matter. I've walked in the worst neighborhoods at night, like what was called the red light district years ago. I walked through there at night to go, because I walk around a lot, and I used to go out at night more than I do now. I never had a My old mate from Bantayan Island can recommend air conditioning for bedrooms. That's right. Flying Circus. I need to Flying Circus took the #1 video down. I told you months ago, Flying Circus, that YouTube was not going to harm us in any way, but nobody listened. Nobody listened. Nobody listened. I said they're not going to bother. I have 200 more videos since they put their new restrictions in, and still they did not even remove, not even one. I have 5,800 total videos on YouTube. 2,800 public videos right now, today. All right, 2,000. I'll show it to you. So people don't believe me, but I'll show it to you. I don't care. All right, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to Classic Studio, because I could tell you about this new Studio B is garbage. New Studio Beta, garbage. Studio Beta, garbage. Studio Beta, garbage. Studio Beta, garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage. Whoa. Whoa. Wow, that's amazing. I didn't realize I had that many videos. I have 6,609 videos. 6,609 videos. Wow. But I only have, I wonder how you see, all right, so only 2,800 are public. Well, maybe now 3,000. So I do have 6,000 plus videos. All right. I'm trying to see how many I have public. I can't see that. I wonder why. Hold on. Let me go to my. Hold on a second. I can't see how many I have public. All right. Still can't do it. Not that way. Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I have 6,609 videos public. I didn't realize I had that many, because I don't look at that. So now I guess the long form, but that's another thing about that narcissist / sociopath / psychopath / flying monkey. Look, you're going to see this number, 6,609 videos. Let's long form him. That's another thing only a sociopath and a psychopath and or a narcissist and a flying monkey would do, is see that somebody else has such a successful channel and then call on all of his subscribers and flying monkeys. And notice the flying monkeys and or narcissists that you don't see on my channel anymore, even though they apologize profusely, some of them for the third and fourth time. Somebody like Mrs. Heminger. I blocked him, I unblocked him, I blocked him again, he did the same, then he goes right back to abusing you behind your back. So I just blocked him again. Now, of course, he can make another 100 channels, and each one will get blocked. And of course, he apologized when he saw me on Big Kevin's channel. And I ignored, Steve Montelli's channel. I just ignored him. He will never be allowed back on my channel, because you can never trust a sociopath and or a narcissist. So right now, in my opinion, this is what a sociopath, a narcissist, a psychopath, and a flying monkey is doing right now. He saw that I have 6,600 videos, and he's busting out the long form typewriter, and he's going to long form me for the rest of the year. He's not going to do a damn thing until next year. The only thing he's going to do for the entire rest of this year is going to long form Michael Fazio's channel, because he said in a video that his day, his month, his year would be complete if he could get my channel shut down. And he said the same thing about where I live. Now, the slash, in my opinion, narcissist slash sociopath slash psychopath slash flying monkey said he would buy my property and throw me on the street. That would make his year complete. Well, he did say that. And he posted like 8 or 9 videos to that effect. 2 of which I have recorded, timestamped and transcripts. But he said that. So I would say to this, not in my opinion, narcissist, psychopath, sociopath, and or flying monkey, I would say, well, where would you get 30 million pesos to buy my property from? Where would you get that from? Where would you get it from? You can't even afford to leave the Philippines for your yearly 3-year trip. You've been crying about not having enough money. So what did you do? Was what I heard. I can't prove it. I heard, and I have video links. I have links to certain people's financials, or what is called fiscals, that Warren H. and 2 other subscribers sent me. And I don't know why YouTube took it down. YouTube removed it from my spam, but I did not. I heard that there's a person out there that stopped paying their mortgage 6, 7, or 8 months ago. I heard that. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that story. And that's the only way that you can stay living in the Philippines, is what I heard. That person can only stay in the Philippines spending the amount of money that person spends. I heard the only way that they can do that, yep, it's gone. The only way they can do that is because they stopped paying their mortgage. And that's why several months ago, a person said, a vlogger said that they went from making $1,500 a month profit to $3,500 a month profit. And that was about 7 months ago. And the fiscals on that person's background and or property show me on the fiscals that they stopped paying the mortgage 6 or 7 months ago. So a blogger on YouTube all of a sudden is earning $2,000 a month more, but a blogger on YouTube also, it is said, now of course it's just fiscals, it is said the person stopped paying their mortgage. So I don't know what's true. I don't know if it's true that he's earning an extra $2,000 a month, or I don't know if it's true that he stopped paying his mortgage and he considers that income, because that's not income. You're still going to have to pay that if you ever decide to sell the house. And you can't sell the house until you get out of arrears from your mortgage. And if you did that, it's not a good financial move. Let's put it like that. It's not a good it's not good business. Okay, so okay. Thank you for sharing that piece of information with us. So fit couple in the Philippines, if you have a job that you can get possible business out of here on my channel, you seem like you're in an honest mode of business. If you want to share a link that might help people out with something that has to do with medical something in the Philippines, you're welcome to do that. Okay, so Simsimo Vlog says, Michael, next month after Christmas, I will upload the UK prison video. In fact, it will be the first prison the craze was in, and their cell I will film. Okay, that would be cool. Thank you very much, Sinsimo Travel Vlogs. That would be a good video to see a real prison system. All right, well, when you get it done, you just let me know. Okay, Sinsimo, Christmas, fit. Like I said, fit couple in the Philippines. You are welcome to post something that has to do with your business if it'll help you out. Michael McFarland says, I know, a half a sack of rice is 2,500 pesos. Is it that much? You know what? You could be right. Because when I bought that sack of rice for the men 5 years ago now, it was 3,200 pesos. I think you're right. I think a sack of rice is, and I don't eat rice, so I wouldn't know what it costs. I don't eat rice. I haven't eaten rice, to be honest, since August. I haven't had, well, you know what? I did, but not here in my house. I ate rice at the fiesta, August 28th. I ate rice at a huge party on December 8th. And I ate rice at a funeral back in October. So I ate rice 3 times. I don't know, but I didn't buy any. Sinsimo. Also for Americans, it will be informative as I research the history and will tell the story. Okay, great. Sinsimo is going to start posting videos. You don't have to post anything with your face in it. Just post the video of the prison. I'm sure I will find it interesting. Yeah. Yeah, you get your visa done in 45 minutes. Yeah, that used to be the way it is. But we have a man in the immigration office that tells you to come back in 2 weeks. And he gets adamant about it. And there's no point in arguing with him about it because apparently no one, if you do complain, is going to care. Your complaints will fall on deaf ears. So I give it to him. I often wonder what would happen if something happened to the building and they lost my passport. Who would be responsible for the monies? Probably it would be me. And so I gave him the passport on, I'll tell you when I gave it to him. December 23rd. 1 week. 2 weeks. 3 weeks. It'll be 3 weeks that they're going to keep it. 23rd. No. 30th. 2 weeks. 14 days. And if I go there, no guarantee it'll be ready. All right, Man Bear Pig. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a wrench today. Man Bear Pig and I and his wife, Michelle, spelled Shell, had a great conversation last week. His wife is pretty cool. And we had a great conversation. Tell your wife, Michelle, I said, She likes my Rabbi Drew Barker video, so I gave her I'll give you one free for the holidays. This is Rabbi Drew Barker in the Philippines, baby. Michelle liked that. Michelle. Visa to where? Just you have to get your immigration visa stamp. You have to get a stamp that your visa is up to date, Wes. Ed Lippert says, Michael, I read the Bible through every year. I use the Common Lectionary every day. It covers the whole book. Ed, at one time, I had not only 13 different versions of the Bible, but I also had the full Thomas, I think it was, lexicon for the words. I think it was the Thomas. There's what the words mean, how they mean, why they mean. The books that I'm talking about were from the late 1800s, 1890, 1892, like that. They were about 2.5 inches thick. And they were 12 inches high and 9 inches wide. I think it was the Thomas, and it was the old, it gave you the Latin version, it gave you the Germanic version of the words, it gave you all the different words. I read all of that stuff. Hard to get a visa. I'm talking about your immigration fees, Wes. I probably used the wrong word. The immigration fees is what I'm talking about. But that I think I used the wrong term. I apologize. Yeah, no, it's okay. Ed's saying it's the visa renew. Yeah, it's the visa. Our visa to be here in the Philippines under a tourist visa. Yeah, I'm right. No offense, but it's a tourist visa. Yep. Sinsimo says, credit to you for creating that many videos. Thank you, Sinsimo. All right, I see some people are having some salutations and conversations amongst each other. That's good. I like that. But I'm not going to read all of that. Sensimo says, Mrs. Heminger is a sad piece, POS. He ruined his troll reputation since he thought linking would make him LOL, and Frank Surprise blocked him. Now he feels like he can't. Okay? Oh, yeah, he got ripped apart. Hold on a minute. We got wind here, I'll tell you that. Oh, God. Yeah, I saw that he got kicked to the curb. Michael McFarland is confirming that he buys a half a sack for 25 pesos once a month. Wes Sleeman, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Mr. Fabio Barge Captain, he, and Daisy May. Thank you very much. I'll pass that on to Daisy May. And actually, I'm going to call her up right now. I'm gonna call. You're not going to be able to hear what I say, but I have to talk to her. Now she's got her phone turned off. Okay. All right. So Fit Couple in the Philippines did what I requested. Sure, if any USA medical practice wants to improve clinical outcomes with case management, care coordination. Okay. And then he gave out his, looks like an email address, Doug Sullivan at iCloud.com. So let me copy that. Now, there are two doctors that listen to my vlog sometimes, and one of them may still be here, and it may be of interest to him. So I'm going to post your link 3 times, your email address. So if anybody, I don't know what Fit Couple in the Philippines does. It has nothing to do with anything I would understand. So, but if you know what he does and you want to find out what it would cost for him to help you in your field, by all means, talk to him. I gave you his email address. Hold on, there's kids outside. I want to give them candy. Hey! Hey! How many? How many kids? Oh, pot only? Okay. All right, here's 12. Here's 3 each, okay? Okay. Say salamat. You guys. And then I want to hear Waisai Payen. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, here you go. Happy New Year's. Okay, humping. Now, you're welcome. No problem. For me, it doesn't cost me anything to do that. Let me find my glasses. Oh boy. The kids, somebody told the kids to stop bothering me last week, and I don't know why, because they really weren't bothering me. I made them come by and do the karaoke, the Christmas caroling, and they were happy with that. And I gave them pesos and candy. But then I like 2 days after Christmas, the kids stopped coming by, even though I told them to come by and to get their candy and pesos. But there is a leader on this block, and she's my good friend. And I think that she thinks that the kids were bothering me because she sees everything that happens here. And I would just run outside and I stand in front of the house and give the kids candy and money from my side of the barrier. And so there's never any thought about me bothering the kids. But I think she thinks that the kids were bothering me because she sees the kids always asking me for candy. And one day she yelled at them, and they haven't been back since. She's in charge of everything. So now they go by without asking, but for Christmas week, they all know I have candy. For the week of Christmas and New Year's, I give out. If I need more, I'll just go buy more bags of candy. I don't care. Candy is just, it's cheap. It's 300 pesos for 420 pieces. So it's like 3/4 of a peso. It's like 1.5 pennies per piece. So I try to give them 3 each once a day, though. If I see them coming back twice, It has nothing to do with the cost of the candy. They just don't need to eat 6 pieces of candy when they weigh 30 kilos. That's my idea. So, Daisy's busy. Let's see. That woman for the dive, the French girl that I told you about, no, she gave me a phone number, and I know damn well she gave me a valid phone number, but I don't know if I'm reading the number correctly. So I keep calling up that number. Her name was Ida, I-T, she wrote it down, A-I-T, excuse me, A-I-T-A. We'll try it again, because I want to go diving, and if she's got a dive boat going out tomorrow, I'm going diving. So, yeah, I used to go, I made it for many, many years. I made my Christmas, I tried to spend on the water or under the water. But can't. So this year, last year my foot was injured, couldn't go in the water. Jeremy Burt, what exactly are you trying to say? Make it real clear, because it might be your last thing. Are you saying I should give them 50 cents or a whole dollar? Is that what you're saying? Because am I reading this correctly? Let me know if I'm reading this correctly, that I should give them 25 cents each, or 50 cents, or a whole dollar. Just let me know if I'm reading just a simple yes, you're reading it correctly, or no, I'm mistaken about what you just said. Because what would happen? Oh boy, why did I bother? What would happen if you started giving out 10 peso coins or such and such is that, well, Jeremy, I tell you what, why don't you super chat me $100 and I'll give out dollar bills, because you guys are such wonderful people in real life. Oh, why don't you just give them a quarter or a pen? I gave out 3,200 pesos, about 4,000 pesos in goods this year. That's $80 just to the people on my block. But if you start giving out dollars, you'll have 1,000 people in front of the house. So you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know a damn thing about the Philippines. You don't know a damn thing about charity in the Philippines. Nothing personal, as you said. But if you want to call me cheap, I'm going to let you make me not be cheap. I'm going to say, and I'm going to make a video about this. I asked you for $100. You give me $100 right now. You super chat me $100, and long before January 3rd, I'm going to have a video of 100 people in a line, well-formed and well-groomed line, and I'm going to hand them all out 50 peso bills until the line is gone. The line will be from here in the Philippines, in Bohol. The line will start here, because I'm going to tell them I'm going to be handing out 50 peso bills, which is only $1, by the way. The line will be from here probably to just the other side of Japan in less than an hour. So you can't do that. To be fair, and nothing personal, you can't do that here. If you give out money, especially like when you're saying 25 cents, which is like a 10 peso coin, you start giving out 10 peso coins wherever you go within 5 miles of your house. People are going to ask you for money, and they're going to know. Somehow they're going to know. It's like an underground system of some sort of mental telepathy. You can't do that here. I did it once before. When I first got here, between March 16th and New Year's, I gave out 32,000 pesos, $800, because the dollar had a different value. And nobody ever stopped asking me for stuff for 2 years. And I stopped New Year's Day because somebody stole something from me, a piece of wood from the side of the house. And I said, no more pasalubong. And they asked me for 2 or 3 years. I gave out loads. I gave out candy. I gave out bottles of rum. I gave out slippers. Gave out, what else? I gave one guy a brand new pair of slippers. I gave him 5 kilos of rice that year. I gave him a bottle of rum. I gave out at least 100 packs of cigarettes, because at that time they were $1 a pack. They were 32 pesos a pack, a little less than $1. At least 100 packs of cigarettes for Christmas only around that time, and probably 4 cases of rum. And it never stopped. For years, people were asking me for cigarettes and rum. So you, who think that you should go give out money, Simo Blogs explained it perfect. You can't do that here. Nothing personal, but, if you send me $200 right now, just send me a super chat for $200. Of that, I'll receive about 140. I'll tell people right now, I'll walk outside. I'll put my shoes on. I'll walk outside. I'll tell the 2 people that are sitting next door talking in front of the house. I'll tell those 2 people that at 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to be passing out 50 peso bills. And there'll be 2,000 people right standing in front of my house at 3 o'clock right now. But I'm only going to have your $200 or $150. So I can only give to the first 150, but there'll be 2,000. There might not be 2,000, but there will be 200 to 300 people. I am waiting for you to send me. You have $97 as a balance in your. Okay, so you can't do that. All right, I was just setting you up for putting your name at the top of the video, but it's not going to happen. And I understand. You can't do that here in the Philippines. Believe me, you can't do it. Anybody that does start handing out pesos regrets it. You'd have to do it someplace where no one knew you and then disappear. Forget about the repercussions. A lot of things I can't tell you. Not something you want to do. So, let's see. Something that I should be grateful for, I guess, for the new year, that I didn't get killed by that jet ski last week, number 1. And number 2, I guess I should be grateful that my foot healed up. I'm very happy about that. You know, I actually have a pretty good life. I don't live very high on the hog. I used to, and I never really enjoyed that either. I mean, at one point of my life, to go out and spend for my birthday and Mother's Day, I would take my mother and my father, and sometimes my brother and his wife, and myself and my girlfriend out to dinner at a place called SPQR in Manhattan. That would be the restaurant we would go to. And I did that for I did it a lot. From the time I was 23 to the time I was in my early 30s, And once a year, though, I would take them either to Radio City Music Hall or SPQR for my mother's birthday or Mother's Day, and or my birthday sometimes. Sometimes I would take them for my birthday, or to see the Christmas show at Radio City Music Hall. Okay, so once a year I did something extravagant. We're talking about a limousine rental for 5 or 6 hours minimum at $75 an hour for an Excalibur. We're talking about $400 for a limo plus the tip, another $400 for the dinner. Once or twice a year, I'd go out and spend $1,000 on dinner, but many times I'd spend $50 on a dinner just for me and a girl. This is going back into the 80s or the early 90s, or late 70s, 80s, and maybe part of the 90s. Well, I don't have that kind of money anymore to piss it away because I don't earn any money anymore. I just have what I have saved and what people super chat me and gifts, which I'll go through. My earnings this year, I guess I could say that with gifts, maybe is anybody here a financial advisor? Let me ask that question. Let me go back to the comments. Is anybody here a financial advisor? I have some financial questions. Anybody here know about banking or tax? No. Okay. So, and also to this guy, Jeremy Burt, not that I need to answer your question, but a lot of the money that I have was, if I started giving out money like that, I would probably ask the people that sent me some monies this year if they wanted me to do that, because a lot of the money that I actually have accrued over this year that I'm going to talk about next week is gifts. So whose money am I giving? Am I giving my money or am I giving their money out? It just doesn't work like that. Plus, it's just not a good thing. So I guess I should. So if no one is answering my question as to whether or not we have financial advisors, all right, we're done. Okay, because I asked a legitimate question and I'm not getting any responses. And the only person that is answering or talking is this guy, Jeremy Butt. Okay, Sin Simo. So, okay, and we know he's a troll. Okay, so let's clear things up. He's a troll. He's within the boundaries. I wouldn't doubt for a second that it's Mrs. Heminger or Wally Wald, who is Mrs. Heminger. I wouldn't doubt for a second that he's a troll of that nature. So Sin Simo. Okay, so Sin Simo. Let's say that, for argument's sake, Warren H. Warren H. wanted to buy a room, wanted to basically buy the second floor of my hotel. So that would be an investment into my property here in the Philippines. So an Australian would be investing, we're just going to use an arbitrary figure of $100,000 US, because that's what it would cost for me to sell the condominium if I sold it as a condominium. So if Warren wanted to buy the second floor as a condominium, and he does, would I be responsible for taxes on that in America? That's my question. Because he's investing in a property in the Philippines, and the money's being invested into the building of the hotel. That's my first question. And I should probably add, it's going to be a little bit more than that, because his sister, all right, I can do that. His sister also wants to buy a unit. Now, either they're going to split the second floor, which would be the same 100,000, or she wants a unit on the ground floor. I I guess I could give a small unit on the third floor, but I'd move Warren up to half the third floor and put her on the second floor. I would be perfectly okay with this whole thing without doing rentals at all. But I have the license to do all of that. Or I have the ability to do all of that. All my paperwork is done. So, all right. Well, you know what, Simo, then I don't want you to try to explain this stuff, because I'm just asking you a question. Now that I know somebody that can help me, and if you're in the United States and you have a phone number and you trust me with your phone number, because nobody will ever get that number except myself, you can send that telephone number, find some old obscure. I have a tax number in the Philippines. I'm a licensed business owner here in the Philippines. I'm licensed. I mean, I have a tax number, and I have my NBI card. I could start a business on any given day for any reason. Yeah, I have that. But if you, what you want to do is find one of my old videos and post your. If you want to start off with an email address, you can send your email address. If you want to just send the phone number, I'll see it within an hour, usually, mostly, and I'll copy it down, and I'll call you through Skype. I can call America through Skype, and then I can ask you those questions, because I really don't care. One way or another, I'm going to do it. One way or another, it's about to happen. So it's not a lot of money. It's only $100,000. But I was wondering if I'm going to have to pay taxes on that, or do I? And then it's not going to happen. Fiscal year ends in 3 hours, 2019. So the money wouldn't be coming until 2020. Fiscal year, I have another 16 months before I would have to deal with it. Plus, I would have my expenses for building the hotel, which would be more than that $100,000 in expenses for materials. So it basically, capital gains, if it still works the same way in the Philippines, it would work the same way as in America, that if someone were to give me 100,000 US and I spent 150,000 to build the hotel, I could just write off most of that money. And even as sold the unit, I don't care if I have to pay taxes on it. I only want to use the money. I only want to use the money to build the hotel. So Jeremy Burt says, when you file taxes, yes. It's a little bit more complicated than that, Jeremy. All right. So I thought you were a troll. Like, now I just think that you're a very young person. Okay. So yeah, of course you have to pay taxes on something, but it's more complicated than that, Jeremy. Way more complicated than that. So, and I don't think that TurboTax is going to figure that one out for me. All right, I'll probably have to hire an accountant for a few hours. All right, then, let's see. That's what I suggest you do. Does anybody have a question about the Philippines? Offline better. Yep, okay. All right, Sensimo, that's what you're welcome to do that. No hurry on that either. I have to put the battery caps back on the batteries and clean the batteries and put baking soda in the battery box where the acid bubbled out. And I'm still building a workbench. It was raining like a cats and dogs before, but it stopped. I also want to talk to Daisy and I have several other phone calls to make of people that are still awake in America. So I think I'm going to say goodbye and thank everybody for my New Year's. One of my New Year's videos is going to be, like I said, about 40 things, in my opinion, what a narcissist stated, some of which are illegal and or possibly criminal. I'm going to be posting those 40 statements I might even post the names of the videos that they're in, but probably I won't do that. I'll let that person try to find out where they made a mistake. I'm probably going to talk about narcissists and those statements and how they relate to me in real life, those statements. And I'm going to talk about my total earnings, whether they were gifts, and Warren sending me a computer, a $2,500 computer, my Patreon account earnings, my YouTube earnings, my Super Chat earnings, cash money that was sent in one-time only Western Union so that I didn't have to pay taxes on it, and or the sale of a room in the hotel. Wow, that's strange that you should ask that. They use every type of fertilizer and too much of it every day in the Philippines. The results from the tap water test, never did that. I wanted to do it. I had the bottle behind me for months and months, and I never got to do it. I did bring that bottle to one hospital, and they asked me when I had taken the test. And I told them that the water was in the bottle for how long it was, and they said you have to come back with fresh water. So I never did it, Michael McFarland. They use all kinds of chemicals. All right, that's a good question. And the funny thing is, Michael McFarland, not funny, but it's odd that you should ask that question today, because 24 hours ago, I put that bottle on the table that I was working on with the water distiller, because that bottle's been next to the water distiller since I said that I was going to take the test and the water was no good. I put the bottle next to the water distiller again to show them what was in the water distiller, and I never went back. So when I took the water distiller apart to fix it, I took the bottle out of there just because I did. Yeah, not a problem. And I remember Mercury 3 gave me $35 to get that test done, and I never got it done. I did try to get it done, but they said you had to take fresh water. Well, when it was fresh, you had to take it out of the tap. So I guess they wanted to see the bacteria count in the water or something. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for a great New Year's. Remember to go to Big Kevin's channel and see, since Simo saw the video of the guy. Well, there's no doubt as to who's in the video, that the porn is pasted in that section of him being a member of the live stream. But whether or not it was his actual channel that did it, there's no doubt as to who's in the picture. Okay. All right. Thank you. Send Simo, no problem. It's not a big deal. It's just a question, and it's not gonna make, no matter what the answer that you give me, no matter what we talk about, no matter how, it's not important, because no taxes will be due until April 15th of 2021. So I have lots of time to deal with that issue, because I specifically made it happen in 2020. Anybody that's interested to do anything, I made the money only to be available in 2020. Wes Sleeman, I was talking about Filipinos getting visas to go to U.S. or Canada. It's a lot harder for foreigners. can just get it at the airport when they arrive. Can just get it or can't just get it? I have no idea what you're saying, Wes. Be honest with you, I have, you know, you probably know what you're saying, and what you're saying probably makes sense. Okay. Well, yeah, Wes, if you want to repeat that, I have no idea what that means, and I'm pretty good with the English language. If it should be can't get it at the airport when they arrive, there's something missing from that sentence, like my ability to understand what it is that you're trying to say. I was talking about Filipinos getting visas to go to the U.S. or Canada. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder. Foreigners, there's a lot of stuff missing from that sentence, Wes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Wes, you're welcome to repeat that and make it more clear. I know how hard it is to type like a compounded sentence in that with the compounded thought process. Thanks for watching. Remember, all the monies that you sent, Daisy receives her share, which is just slightly less than 50%. And she's a very happy girl. So with that, I'm going to say God bless. Happy New Year's. I hope everybody has a safe New Year's. I think I'm going to go get some fresh vegetables. That's what I think I'm going to do. Umping Permy. Thank everybody once again for stopping by. Please go to Big Kevin's channel and check out that video he made with the guy who put the porn on his channel, and see if you could figure out who exactly it was or how we could prove who it was, and then make videos about that. Thanks again, Umping Permy from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines, baby. Salamat. Sailboat. Yeah, baby. Sailboat. That's what I want. I'm not a sailboat type of person, Wes, but it is a good day for sail, and there's no doubt about it. It's crispy, cool, it's hot, and the wind is slamming off the ocean, and the sun is not blaring down. A little cloud cover. Happy New Year's, everyone. Thanks again. When I come back, I got a gimmick. I got a new gimmick that I'm going to work. That's right, baby. If you forgot to subscribe, if you're a new subscriber, please subscribe. If you forgot to push the thumbs down button, please push the thumbs down button or the thumbs up button. I'm going to go. I'm going to go right now. I'm going back to my live stream. I'm going next. Sensimo, no hurry on that. If it's not next week, it could be next month. And we're going to end the stream. Happy New Year's. 2019 is about to be over. So many people I should give shout outs to. I think I'll give them the shout outs New Year's. I got to get I didn't get the chance to do notes this morning. It's a shame. Really. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning to call Warren, and I didn't get a chance to do my notes. Umping Permy, Happy New Year's 2020. Hope you have a safe one and a good one. A drug and alcohol free one. Bye-bye for now.